Oh, you set it with a delay to start in 5 minutes?
When I set it up, yes, I did.
Ah,
But now I got to make sure I mute my my YouTube. Okay. So we are live now. Thanks, everybody. Please feel free to join in. We are going to be covering this morning for Roger, who he decided he needs to take a little break here and then. JDS is here.
Corey JDS. I was in the process of typing first when you beat me to it, you scum. Oh.
Corey Mano, good morning. And yeah, so we're covering today for Roger, who is taking a bit of a well-earned break. 3 days a week, he's asked me and some others to cover for him a Monday morning, Tuesday morning, and Wednesday morning. But then he'll still be doing his, hey, David, good morning.
That hair. Look at that hair, David.
Yeah.
Look it.
I convinced her by showing her yours.
Well, see, Hugh, after last night, he's now a star. See,
I know. I watched the first hour. I was just watching that before I came over here.
Yep.
According to Drone Pool, you and I could be brothers, David.
Well, I changed the background to the Canadian Drone Hub live from Studio B with guest host Paul Murray, and I should probably put friends there, but I was running out of space, and I did it this morning before we started up, and took me a bit, but
actually the story isn't quite accurate about the hair. What I did was I had shown her yours, and you went sort of yeah. So back in the 70s, I had a DA before I joined the Air Force, so I started combing and styling it, and it was long enough to do that. The shavers were out like a shot.
Oh boy. What's a DA?
A duck's ass.
Okay.
Rockabilly type.
Okay.
And she wasn't impressed. The shavers were out like a shot.
John Coopy has now dubbed you guys the two brothers.
Two brothers.
Who we got? Hi JDS. Hi Corey Mano, John Coopy, and AZ Drone Jude. Good morning.
Good morning, all. How you doing? What's up?
AZ Drone, how you doing? Yep, we're filling in for give Roger a break. Don't know how long it's going to go on, and various people, I would imagine at certain times, will be filling in along the way. And I kind of started off as the guest host today. So welcome everybody.
Welcome, my friends. Phantom Hodges, what's up, buddy?
Yeah, John, as you well know, once you get doing a regular show on a regular basis on multiple shows a day on different days, pretty much consumes your life, and you can't get anything that you want to get done. So
oh yeah. Oh, we lost David. Poof. And then there were two.
Here and gone, huh? Well, I'm sure he'll pop back in.
Oh yeah.
Phantom Hodges, good morning. How you doing? Paul, I hope all's well with your wife. And I bet that if the weather,
yeah,
you're gonna fly. Yeah, he came home and thought maybe she was having a stroke and took her to the hospital, and it didn't turn out to be a stroke. They're still trying to figure out what it is.
Yeah, I agree, John Coopy. I can't even imagine doing a live stream 7 days a week.
Yeah.
For like 2.5 years. Yeah, like crazy.
2 years, 4 months, I think it's been.
Yeah. Hell, I needed a break from YouTube. I took 6 months off.
Well, the sad part of it is, and I understand both sides of the equation, because we get to build relationships with people from all over the world right here on YouTube.
Yeah, for sure.
We never would have had before.
Agreed. I think that's what the internet's great for,
Yeah, exactly. And so it's kind of an outlet. And what's nice is, for most parts, we're all kind of on the same common wavelength as far as our thoughts and whatever. We may have some extreme times when we might disagree, but we'd always do it in a civil manner.
Well, the nice thing is we're all unified by drones here, right?
Yes.
We all share a passion of flying.
Exactly.
Yep.
And I was talking to Philly Mike last night, and he did a flight with the Air 2 down around the buildings downtown like he usually does. And he said to me privately, he says, that Air 2, when I fly my Pro down there or the Zoom down there, that Air 2 had better connectivity than ever.
That OcuSync 2 is pretty dope, eh?
Yeah,
that's what I hear.
And so but he's just pissed because you can't use like the smart controller or Crystal Sky or whatever, so you can really see the screen, because as you get older, we're not being able to focus on that little screen like we used to.
You know what I did on Friday when I went out flying? I had the same issue. I was having problems seeing the screen. I stood under a tree, got some shade, because I don't have one of those sun visors or anything.
Yep.
So I parked myself under a tree and flew from there.
Well, the thing of it is I fly, as you know, with my, I've got 3 or 4 of the iPad Airs.
Mm-hmm.
And even with the hood, I've got the little short hood. I go down on it when I fly the Air 2. Even with the short hood, in sunlight, I still see my reflection more than I see what the hell I'm looking at. So I got to look through me to see the screen. Where once you fly with a Crystal Sky or the smart controller, none of that happens anymore.
Yep. I'd like to see one.
Hey, David's back.
Internet crashed.
So,
you were just gone.
And I'm sitting here going, oh, they've both just gone gone.
Yeah.
I stood up to have a look at the router, and there it was, black.
Yep,
nothing.
Washington County News.
So who have I missed?
He's going to go get tested for coronavirus. I'm so sick right now. Oh, Washington County, our hearts go out to you.
Sorry to hear that, Washington County News. And Gary, Brant Ariels, hi. Brandon Rain, hi. I think that's me caught back up.
Yeah. Blind Neil, good morning.
It's funny, I was watching your interview there with Val this morning, David, and I was laughing when you were talking about your son not watching your videos. My family doesn't watch my videos at all either, so don't feel bad.
Well, that was the irony of it. I mean, one of the things of branching out into YouTube was so the family could know what we were up to, and not one of them gives a damn.
No.
Well, that's because in your case, David, probably mine, and maybe Hughes, I'm old enough that I don't do this tickety tick or what TikTok or what.
Oh God.
Oh,
TikTok.
Well, I don't do TikTok.
That's why I joke about flip flop.
Flip flop.
I'm on Twitter and I'm on Faceache or other names I like to give it, but really then it's only my group on Facebook and comments. I don't really follow anybody or do anything.
Right.
It's an awful place, but that's where I was in touch with my family.
Bye, JDS.
Yo, JDS, take care. The family would be they're all on there. And not one of them.
Yeah.
Lindsay does to see, because I don't always show them after I've edited them, so she doesn't know what I've been up to.
Ruh-roh.
And My youngest brother sometimes does,
Oh,
but my middle brother, my cousins, my my nephews and nieces, etc. Because I'm old. What we do is too old for them. They're one of my nieces is all for posting pictures of her wearing hardly any clothes and
oh,
with the makeup and all the. Well, she's 18, 19, 20, I think. In fact, she's old enough to make her own decisions. But yes, I have to be careful when I go on her feed, or she leaves a message where I'm tagged.
yeah. You can't get judgy because I mean it's her life, especially if she's an adult.
Yeah, she's an adult. And
You got to think our parents probably thought the same thing about us and our choice of music, our choice of clothing.
yeah, you're right. You're right. Yeah. Although I don't see what's the problem with jeans and a t-shirt. But...
No, I mean I carried around a piece of cardboard to dance on. What's wrong with that?
Yep. Nothing.
Yeah, I was weird. Yeah, I know.
Uh-huh.
Guilty.
And now you're back carrying a piece of cardboard to land on.
That's right, because my knees can't take the ground. That's right.
Yep.
No, I was thinking about the drones.
Oh, the drones. Yeah. No. I actually I use one of those proper.
And the pads. Yeah. Landing pad.
Yeah,
I don't.
I have a landing pad.
I thought about it when I first got the Spark, but I bought the extension legs that you can get.
Oh, yeah.
Good idea.
And to my mind, they lift it enough that any dust that's getting dragged up is getting blown away before it gets anywhere.
Yeah,
and it
potentially.
gets it clean after I've been flying and that.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And a helipad's just something to blow away, or you have to keep an eye on because somebody might run away with it.
True enough. Yeah.
Hi, Blind Nail.
Who we got? Carpenter
Oh,
Rick.
there's Carpenter Rick.
Hi, Rick.
Morning, Rick.
Yeah, it's early. I slept in and fuck, late for work. Everything's bad.
You slacker.
That'll teach her not to pay me on Friday.
Yeah.
Funny how that happens, eh? How's
Yeah.
everybody doing this morning?
Well, we're all hanging out here covering for Roger, so he can take a break, and he's kind of asked different people if they can to cover him on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. That gives him 3 days. He can do some stuff, either to sleep in or go somewhere and fly. And
I think that's a great idea, Paul. I think it's a great idea. Absolutely.
I do too.
Let them get out and get a little fresh air and see some different scenery and get the odd day to sleep in when he needs it. Absolutely.
Exactly.
And you know what? The Canadian Drone Hub has a bunch of good guys here, so I'm pretty sure between everybody they can be looked after.
Yep. Exactly. And can kind of pass it off to each other.
Absolutely. Well,
I
that's
just
why
need a place to hang out, in the morning. What else am I going to do for
Right,
God's sakes,
right.
right?
Well, heck, it'd take me 8 hours to drive all the way to see Roger, so it's easier just to come on here. I guess you're only about 5.5 hours.
True. Still a bit of a
Paul's
hike,
actually, theoretically, Paul's closer though.
Theoretically, yeah.
but yeah, I guess he is.
If I could get
Right.
across the border, Paul's the closest.
Right across the 401. Yep.
We'd have to smuggle Paul in a shipping container or something though, right now, because the border's
It'd
still
be
closed.
one big shipping container. I tell you that.
Well, you want your comforts, right?
Exactly. It's got to have a head and a shower and a nice bed to sleep on and
Well, I tell you,
satellite TV. It'd be the only one of those steel shipping containers with a roof air and satellite TV.
we've built quite a few of those actually, Paul. When we work in the bush on big mansions, we build those sea containers into little houses, so we stay in them
Uh-huh.
as we build, and then we move it to the next job site and use it as an office or whatever.
It's a good idea.
Yeah, it's a really good idea.
I lived in one for 3 months when I was in the Falkland Islands.
Yep, absolutely.
You could put
Yep.
wheels on it, and then they'd call that what? A trailer.
Well, how do you move them? Let's say if you don't put wheels physically on it, you have to pull it up on a flatbed or.
Yeah, we haul them up onto a flatbed. That's what we use.
We use Chinook helicopters.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, well, you got more sophistication than us over here, Desmond.
Well, it was down in the Falkland Islands, and it was what we had available.
Fair enough. Were you down there during the Falkland?
I didn't know. I wasn't all the way. I was on Ascension Island.
Okay.
it was rough, but somebody had to do it.
Yeah.
We saw Black Book. That's the Vulcan Raid go, but I was there with the Nimrods
Okay.
doing
Because I know, boy,
early warning.
the British Navy really mustered up for that whole thing.
Well, it was another, like I was saying on Vals last night, it was another one of those instances where, be it British, American, wherever, did what their government wanted them to do when they had the resources, and the Navy surely pulled that one off.
Yeah.
That could have gone so wrong in so many ways.
Nearly did.
Yeah. But the air bridge and the,
The other day passed by and I didn't hear one mention of anything to do with all the soldiers that died. I didn't hear a word about it. I was really shocked because of everything that's going on. Everything that's going on in the world. We're missing all the
an anniversary this year. Yeah.
All the anniversaries of what's gone on in the past, all these
yeah.
D-Days and everything, right? Nobody even mentioned anything.
No, D-Day went on the 6th of June without a mention in the news at all.
And that's, to me, that's an absolute, sorry for the absolute travesty.
Yep.
My grandfather was there, like in the army at that time, and that's why I'm a carpenter, because they made him a carpenter. And for nobody to even mention it was just, just bugged me.
Yeah, the thousands and thousands of people that never even made it off the beach.
That's right. That's right.
Well, it speaks to the times. We got a lot of crazy things going on right now.
It sure does, Hugh. It sure does. So, on a good note,
perspective,
what do you got there, Paul?
Well, that's just my calendar. I figured you were talking about dates, and it's about time that I updated from Saturday, Sunday. I need to cross.
There we go. So, does anybody get out fly this morning, or?
I was sleeping this morning. I was up late last night.
I know you were, sir. I watched most of that, but I fell asleep at the end there.
Oh, I didn't think I was that bad.
I had a pretty tough week going back to work for the first week. It wore me right out.
No, it's actually pretty interesting. I got the first hour under my belt just before I came on here.
That just after the hours when Kim comes on. And
okay.
Look at FPV for a little bit.
Yeah, that was where Kim came on, and then that was all I seen. I woke up, my phone was just sitting there at the end of the program.
Yeah, Kim talked some FPV, and then I don't know, it just sort of went general, and then Val closed it down. We had a little chat afterwards, and
nice.
I think I was in bed by about it must have been about 2:15, and I was probably in bed by 3 o'clock. I just had a
Destination Chronicles. Yes, it kind of does look a little bit like me, but I don't wear the bib overhauls.
But we think you should to more closely resemble your minion.
I used to wear those things every day at work for 14 years, and then this Mike Holmes guy came along. Done. Never wear those overalls again at work.
How come?
Because everybody's like, "Oh, you're trying to be like Mike Holmes." I'm like,
"Who's Mike Holmes?"
No, he's trying to be like me, is what you should have said.
Yeah, he's on TV. He does those DIY network.
Oh,
I thought you were talking about Johnny Holmes. I'm going to. There's a new thing,
Well, hey, I might have been a little more proud going that direction.
Gotcha.
It's like doing carpentry work in a thong or something, It's
exactly. Yeah. My old company was actually called Overall Drywall, and it was our symbol was the overalls, right? So that's why we wore them.
Uh-huh.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah, it actually was kind of a cool gimmick. A lot of people got a kick out of it. How's everybody in the chat doing? I can't read the chat. I don't have the computer turned on.
You got Destination Chronicles here, Blind Neil. You've got Desmond Donders, of course, is on the brand. Aerials is here.
Gary,
yep. And JDS was here and left.
And he was first. That son of a gun.
Well, he was kind of first, except he was first in the chat.
I was typing first with a hashtag, and the son of a gun beat me to it.
But the thing of it is Hugh joined me before the show started, so.
But there's no YouTube evidence to support that, Paul.
No.
JDS is first in the chat, so
that's it.
That's all that matters.
Mike Miller. Good morning, Mike.
I hope everybody in the chat's having a fantastic morning. That's for sure.
Oh, come on.
Yep. And we've got 17 people watching. And if you'd like to hit the like button, it's greatly appreciated. You don't have to. We're just here covering today, tomorrow, and the next day, Wednesday, for Roger, who is taking a 3-day a week over the summertime, and then he's going to reevaluate. And so we're trying to fill in, and various different people, as they can commit, will take a day from 9 to noon or 1 o'clock and cover for Roger as guest host of the Canadian Drone Hub.
Hear that bird? He's not happy that I'm out here. He was just feeding.
Oh, the bird feeder's right there.
Yeah, and it's still, he was on it. It's rocking still. At least it's not that black one from last night. Jesus, that thing scared the shit out of me.
It was a big one, huh?
Yeah, it was a red-winged blackbird. He came back afterwards a couple times, and he's just eating all the sunflower seeds out of the mix, eh?
Ah.
So now on the ground below my feet is just covered in all the rest of the seed.
David's having internet problems, I can see. He's blanked out again.
Yep.
We lost him before he came on, Rick. At one point,
no.
It just went boom, and he was gone.
Oh no. Well, I can relate to the internet. I've been using my phone, and that's the only reason why I have great internet. It seems like the computer and my internet's about the same as Roger's. Pretty terrible.
That's one good thing about living in the city. Good internet.
Yeah. Well, I'm in Kitchener right now.
He's in
I should have
Kitchener.
rocking. Yeah.
He's down at the ex-wife's of the kids' house. Yeah.
Yeah, I should have wicked internet here, but she
Good,
might
yeah.
not have it set up right. I don't know, right? Like, but somebody was saying if I plugged right into the modem instead of using the Wi-Fi, it would be a lot better. So
Yeah, it makes a difference. You'll find like you'll get probably 30% faster. You know,
Oh,
if you're close to the Wi-Fi, you'll probably get 30%, 40% more speed.
You cable in,
Sort
yeah.
of thing. Yeah.
well, that's not bad.
And it depends on how far you are away from the router, right?
Well, normally the router's about 12 or 8 feet above me, but it's a floor above, and this place is framed out of metal. So
Yeah, that makes a huge difference.
yeah, excuse the burp, gentlemen. Jeez, can't control myself.
Hey, you need to get yourself a little stool out there on the porch.
Yeah, I sure do. What I need to do, Paul, is get my ass home.
You miss it?
Yeah, I'm due. I don't mind a couple weeks down here, but this is going on 3 straight. I know I was home for the weekend, but
Yeah.
it's
Well, especially when you have to leave it behind to go back down again, you know?
no, that's the whole thing. We had porcupines eating the cottage last time I was up there, so I did a bunch of reinforcements, and I'm hoping that he didn't get back in there. I may or may not have set a kill trap for him, but we'll see.
You go, girl.
Yeah, that's it. So if anybody wants any, porcupine quills, I might
Hugh
have some.
is still facing an insurrection from those chipmunks too.
True story.
They keep coming back.
Will not stop.
I told you, man. I knew it was more than just a couple, for sure.
I'm shocked.
I must have killed 200 of them in 3 years, and they still keep coming in.
Yeah.
And I don't dislike them. I just have no interest coming back to the cottage after 2 weeks and them sitting on my bed eating my food, right?
Yeah, I wouldn't mind so much if there's things like there's little bits of poop on shelves in my garage and stuff. I mean, that's just it's dangerous, especially in these COVID times. You never know what you're going to get. So
You know what? Poop and if breathing in the air in that is deadly.
it's gross.
Yeah,
So
just
gross.
Desmond, glad you could join us again.
Back again. That wasn't internet problems. I did say be right back. There was a huge crash at the doorway, and I thought, wow, the postman's. I saw the postman. The postman's left something big and heavy. No, it was 4 flyers and advertisements, not one bit of post. But then
Junk.
the noise it made, it sounded like that was heavy. I've got to go and bring it in.
That's disappointing.
Well, that stuff goes right in the wood stove here.
Yep, it'll be not right in. It'll be shredded, and made into bricks for taking away in the van. And went away.
Well,
Yeah,
I've often wondered because how much of the actual junk mail, what I call it, actually anybody responds to. I mean, it's got to be a minuscule amount, but it must be worth it to them. I don't get it.
Well,
Yeah, go on, right? Yeah.
I think there's a lot of people like me out there, Paul, that we don't use too much technology. So certain flyers like that, I do actually pay attention to them the odd time. Groceries, usually the grocery flyers, that's the one that I'll look at. But yeah, we continue to get like library folders. The library's closed. You're inviting us to a library that's not open, and all
Yep.
these weird, can you sell your house to us? Listen, if I wanted to sell my house, I'd put a for sale sign on it, right? Like we get one of those every day. Rent us your parking spot, sell us your house. Do.
Yep. Yep.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
I get them all the time. Of course, it's my age. I
it's
get them all
parking
the
wars.
time. All the time for planning after you die. Have you arranged for your cremation yet? Annette, get the hell out of here.
Yeah,
You know,
I've started to get those. They must have got my birthday from somewhere. But, two things either happen to ours: it gets shredded and used to make bricks to burn, or it round about election time, I might just send each party's election gump to other parties, just for something to do. You know, it's
Yeah, forward it.
we got these things in the mail last week, Desmond, for any of our restricted guns, saying that we're supposed to sell them back to the government. So I just wrote return to sender on it and sent it back. I didn't even open it. Forget it.
yeah. No, it's when they start putting their election guff, and you can guarantee there's an envelope so you can fill in a survey for them. But
Mhm.
Right.
I take them all out of his envelope and I put them in her envelope, and I take hers and put them in his envelope and put them all in the post office.
So I had a couple people ask me why I don't post any flight videos. So I'm going to be real honest with everybody. I've never went and written my test. So that's why I don't post flight videos. That's why I'm getting the Mini. So everybody can be real clear. I still fly all the time. It's just I don't want to present something illegal because I don't condone illegal things. So if anybody had that question of why I never see the flight videos on my channel, that's why. The Mavic Mini is on its way. I'll be legally allowed to fly it, and I'll get some videos posted.
Right on.
But
So it wasn't.
See, I have no
it wasn't that it didn't
excuse.
work.
I have no
Huh?
excuse.
It
I'm
was,
just lazy.
you know, I tried to set a good example for my children as best as possible. I was just pretty offended when those laws came along. So
Yeah.
I stuck to my guns with them. But I think it's time that
yeah, in this country, they've actually given up saying it's for safety in many ways and admitted it's all about privacy.
yeah, of
Oh, really?
course.
Okay.
Well, you know, a lot of people, even my neighbor up north, they continue to harass me about the drones and everything because they think you can look in windows. A couple times I've shown them in my own house from the outside. Look through the camera. You can't see through the window. There's nothing to see. But people that don't know, they just think it's a big privacy issue, and I understand. You know,
You'd hear a drone outside your window too.
I would think.
Yeah, especially the Mavic Air.
You know, it's pretty loud. I heard that, Hugh. It is
Yeah,
a
it's
pretty
very
loud
loud.
drone.
It's
Yeah.
one of the loudest drones. Yeah.
But if you ever heard my wing, you'd think it was pretty quiet, your drone. The wing is so loud, I got to wear earplugs.
But the nice thing is, most of the time you're flying away from yourself, so you don't really notice the noise, right?
Hi, Lynn.
Morning, Lynn.
Lenny's here.
I was going to say something. The thing that gets me about the privacy aspect of it is virtually everybody you see is walking around with a mobile phone which has got two bloody good cameras on it, and some of the cameras out there are better than the ones that are on the drones.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's
Well, no, you're right, David, for sure. If somebody wanted to take a picture of you, record you, they could do it and just pretend they were talking on their phone and you'd have no idea.
no idea. Yeah.
Exactly.
I
Oh,
know,
good for you, Corey. Right on.
Corey, good morning. Didn't know you were in the chat. Hope everything's good.
I agree with Corey. I don't know your exams, but I know our basic exam. If you can't pass it just answering the questions, then maybe you shouldn't be thinking about flying a drone. It's that
For me,
simple.
it wasn't about being able to pass the exam. It was about
Oh,
the
no.
fact that I flew for 20 years before any of this was an issue, right? That's what it was for me.
I under-
Hello, Robert. How you doing?
but it's it's just that fact that anybody who sits down and struggles to pass our basic exam really needs to my mind anyway, really needs to rethink whether they should be flying something like
Blue flag. Is it that easy? Is it?
yeah. It is so simple.
It is so simple, but here's the problem. You can fly a drone, at say 35, 40 miles an hour with spinning blades. So it's quite a dangerous little thing. I mean, people that say that they aren't dangerous, you're being disingenuous, I think, or you've never been hit by one, because I bet you it would hurt.
They've never flown them into themselves, exactly. Yeah, because
I did a physics calculation in one of my videos last year where, I did the calculation of just a drone falling just by the force of gravity, hitting somebody in the head. It would kill you. If it was a big enough drone, you're dead.
Dude, my wing will do like 110 mile an hour. You hit somebody with that, it's all over.
It's going to be painful, right? Yeah.
Yep, absolutely.
So,
and you're right. Some people are, they're sugarcoating things. Drones are dangerous in the hands of somebody who doesn't realize what they are. Of course.
But now I also like the other part of the argument is, well, cars are licensed. You know what? Cars are licensed, and there's a good reason for it, right? You're driving a huge chunk of metal that can go very fast. So.
Yeah.
But.
Well, I may or may not have driven a few years unlicensed as well, but. I never got my driver's license until I was like 20 years old, because where I live, there's nobody around, so nobody cared.
Yeah.
I was like 11 years old driving certain people that had too much alcohol home. Nobody ever cared.
If you done that duty, yeah.
Corey says, "Don't get in the way of my 5-inch going 130 kilometers an hour." Right?
Yeah. Exactly. Right. That'd take you right off your feet for sure. It would.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah.
I wouldn't be happy to have that booger hit me in the head,
Yeah, it wouldn't be nice. Not in the eye with the prop spinning.
Not.
No. Yeah.
Well, you might get caught in my beard or something. You never know.
That's
It
right.
wouldn't be fun. Well, it's definitely a nice day here. I hope everybody else has some nice weather.
Right back, guys.
Yes, Paul. Hi, Quentin. Yeah, I agree, Mike. I've just started posting my stuff on our local village website. Not just drone footage, but me walking around the village with my camera. And the amount of good, positive feedback I've been getting. And the drone flights. Because I can't think of anybody else in the village who actually flies drones. There's bound to be. There's 1,700 people. There's bound to be more than me. But I've never seen another one in the village. So
Same here. We got 600 people on my half of the island, David, and I've never one time seen any of them flying. Once I seen a drone, but it was a youth group. They were having a presentation, but other than that, I never seen anything.
yeah, I've seen 3 other drones in 3 years of flying.
Wow.
One was at a place where I was flying before I started flying, and I went over to chat to him. And I'm still in contact with him via email and Facebook. But the other one came to fly after I'd flown at a place. But the third one, which was the scary one, was I'd just flown a castle, and I'd gone up and out of the way to come home to bring it back, just away from everything, so that it hovers well up at height, and I can see what's around me and have a look around, make sure nobody's approaching before I land. And another drone went zipping through low level between me and the castle, and if I'd brought it straight back, there's a damn good chance we'd have been close anyway.
Wow.
Whoever he was just wasn't looking, and that was a Mavic Air that was flying. And if I'd come straight back, which is sort of the norm, you might say, we'd have been damn close to striking each other.
I heard those Mavic Air pilots are pretty out of control.
Guilty as charged.
Well, I doubt it was Hugh. That's the thing.
Well, I know they got a good range on them, but I don't know if it's that far.
I don't fly near people. If there's anybody around, I move on and fly somewhere else.
Yeah, I won't even. Yeah, same here, Hugh. I won't even put it up in the air. I'm not interested. I've had too many people bitch me out over nothing, and I'm just not interested in it.
Yeah, I just don't want any conflict. I want, I like to go out and fly and just be at peace, right?
Yeah, that's the whole thing. I don't fly where there's people. That's
Oh,
Somebody ripped the screen.
ouch.
the other thing about the rules here, which are Sean
Bugger.
Barner goes on about with the A2CFC, the next stage up. I don't want to fly near people. I don't want that qualification for that reason.
Yeah.
Or this, that, and the other. I fly where I fly, and if there's people about, the chances are you'll see me bring the drone down and land it.
Yeah.
At the weekend when I flew on Saturday, it got busy, and the
Uh,
Coast Guard turned up. So
Ooh.
I brought the Spark back, landed it with still half a battery on it, which is, I normally fly till the batteries, but I brought it back, landed, and the Coast Guard were actually interested. So I pointed them in the direction of a drone which might suit their purpose better with infrared.
That's pretty funny.
Hmm.
Coast Guard coming and getting civilian, a civilian too. Well, yeah, in fairness, you were in the Air Force, right?
Yeah, but I
That's
gave
right.
them I gave them my card. So who knows? They might get in contact with me. Would you like to fly a drone for us?
Hey, there you
Well,
go.
hey, David, you know what? My cousin, we were flying model aircraft 20 years ago. That's who got me into this hobby. And now his job, he works for the Owen Sound OPP in Ontario here, and he flies the drone for them. That's his
That's
job.
pretty cool.
That's really cool. Like really cool. He's not an officer.
Nice.
He's like a community safety guy, and that's what he does. He flies their drone for them and does all their computer tech stuff.
Very cool.
Well, this
Yeah,
is a
really.
volunteer thing, and I'd volunteer to fly a drone at any time. It's
Well, we tried here, David, when there was a young lad who went missing 2 years ago, and we tried to go and take our drones, and they threatened to charge me because I was trying to help look for him. Seriously. So, everybody was still pretty scared about drones back then, but we're pretty sure we could have found that young lad 2 weeks before they found him.
Yeah. Well, I showed them the footage I was getting and what it was showing them, and the guy in charge just said, we could cover an area so much faster with that. And I said, if you get the right drone, it's got the infrared heat seeking, you'll be able to spot bodies,
Oh,
in the
yeah. Oh, yeah.
at that point, you sort of, really? We're going to have to look into this. So
Absolutely.
they've gone off with a positive
That's
vibe.
awesome. Yeah, that's awesome. See, all these things like that, David, that just promotes our hobby, Because I don't know about you guys, but I'm definitely not a criminal, and I don't like being looked at like that.
Yeah, no, I'm certainly not. It's a hobby. It's pleasure.
That's right.
What I really love about it is the different perspective. Places I go back to time and time again, I've gone back to and seen in a fresh light just by putting a drone 30 meters in the air. Never mind going up to 400 feet. Just putting it, a few hundred feet, a few tens of feet above my head.
Mhm,
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
No,
And
it's
different
really amazing.
seasons,
Hi 3X. Morning. Yeah, it's just a different perspective on where you are. I mean, I discovered a pond I didn't even know existed on a place that I've been going to for 15 years.
Wow.
And I was flying around. What's that? Went down for a look. And it's a pond where the animals come to drink. I didn't even know it was there.
Isn't that amazing, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. I love them. They just open the world up for us. They really do.
Yeah.
And I'm terrified to fly actually in a plane, right? So to have one of these for me is just the best.
I've never had that problem, thankfully. Which is
Yeah,
just
luckily, would have been a career change.
it would have been, yeah.
Well, I'll tell you, Desmond, I'm not afraid of heights or anything like that. It's a control thing for me. My friend has a plane, and I sat in it, and as soon as he started it up, I jumped right back out of it so fast.
Uh-huh.
Just
Really?
terrified. I literally tears going and everything, and no reason for it. Just I don't even like being in a car with somebody else driving. So a plane,
Yeah, I do have trouble with the passenger seat in the car.
when I was 7 years old, like a lot of the lakes up here are really hard to get to. So we went to this lake, and my grandmother says, "Look over the side of the boat." And I looked down, and I was 7, and I read the number off the top of the wing of a plane that was about 30 feet below us. That did it.
Yeah, you ready?
Terrified after that, a plane.
Okay, I'll be there shortly.
Looks like Uncle
Paul's
Paul's
got to
going
step
in.
away for a few minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah, guys, I got to go pick up my sweet 93-year-old aunt. She goes once every month to get shots in her eyes for glaucoma.
All
And,
right.
and her son took her before he went to work, and I am going to go pick her up. Mia loves to go and pick up Auntie Anne. So I'll be back shortly. You guys carry on.
All
Well,
right.
Paul, if I happen to go to work, I'll see you tomorrow morning.
Okay, buddy. We'll look for you.
Have a good one, Paul.
Hey, thanks for coming in, too.
Anytime, bud.
Oh, now we can party.
That's it. That's in control. The curse words are coming.
The inmates have got the prison to themselves.
Oh,
So
dear.
I was pretty proud of you last night, David. I have to admit, it takes a lot to admit some of the things that you came out with last night, and I suffered from some of the similar things that you do as well. Definitely.
I've never seen the point of keeping it a secret.
Yeah. No, actually, you're right. To get it out and talk about it, actually, it's helped me for sure. For sure.
Good for you.
Yeah. I've been pretty low a couple times in life, and yeah, it was nice to know that I'm not the only one that's hits those places sometimes, right?
No, you were not. I'm in the same boat as David. It's not something I talk about, but
Yeah, it's not something I would, oh, and by the way, it's, but
yeah, exactly.
if somebody asks me, then yeah, I'll tell them. It's
No, for sure. I was like I said, I was really proud of you, David. It felt good just to know that we're all in that same category, and
Yeah.
there's no judging anybody here. It actually it'll probably help me speak about it a bit more online, right?
hopefully, because the more you speak about it, what was that? The more you speak about it, the
Flashing his ID.
I thought I had his credit card details in for a
Oh,
minute.
let's go shopping.
Everybody get the DJI Mavic here too. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, I just wanted to say that was really something special, David, for sure. I love when Val does those. Quite often I've thought maybe I'd like to do the interview too, but I just love watching the interviews. Everybody's so honest, and Val's so nice about the way she approaches it.
Yeah, very sweet lady.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Val's a sweetheart for sure.
Excellent. No, I did something for somebody, and I just got a message. I heard a ding. That's where their parents have been married 50 years at the end of this month,
Wow.
and we don't know them, but they asked all their friends if they would do a short video for them. They're going to put it together, and because they can't get together,
Right. Well, that'll be nice.
they're in Canada, and we just got acknowledgement that they received the video we did this morning for them.
Oh,
so.
nice.
Nice. So you still have quite the connection to Canada then. I heard you last night saying you had been to a couple places here.
Yeah, I was in Nova Scotia and Newfoundland with Beth, and my father lived for about 15 years in Quebec.
Oh,
Wow.
really? That's interesting.
Well, I have family in New Brunswick. I have family in Quebec, and I have family in Ontario. We're originally from northern Quebec. My mom's Swampy Cree, so she's native, well, half native, sorry. But I've never left to go to Scotland or to the States, and I can. I don't know. I just love this country. It's so beautiful. I've explored here and never ever had the need.
There's lots to see, right?
Yeah, I've never felt the need to go anywhere else. And especially now with you guys showing all the drone footage of your areas, I feel like I get to see the best of everywhere.
Hi, Furball Kim.
Good morning, Kim. How's it going, bud?
But of all the places, I mean, I really want to go and see New Zealand because that's one of the places that the Air Force never took me.
Oh, yeah,
I
me
really want
too.
to go there, which I call Scotland on steroids.
Oh, absolutely. It's got to be one of the most beautiful places in the world. You got Alps with snow down to tropics.
Yeah.
In the same country.
Yeah,
That's
I mean,
amazing.
Good Lord.
But we
Yeah.
have that here, Hugh. We have that here. I don't know if you've ever been to Vancouver.
I have actually lived there. Yeah.
Yeah, so you know all about it.
Yeah, you can ski and go to the beach the same day in Vancouver sometimes. Yeah.
Yep. Not all year, but sometimes.
Not all year, but yeah.
yeah. But if I was to move and emigrate, it would be to try and come to Canada.
Well, we'd be proud to have
Godfather's in the house. What's up?
Hi, Roger. Good morning. So where are you heading out to today?
Good morning, Uncle Roger.
Or Raji, as JDS says.
Yeah, I'm not gonna get on the JDS bandwagon today.
I'm just picking on you.
I just figure I'm the youngest one out of all of us, so Uncle Paul and Uncle Roger kind of fits. Well, I hope everybody's going to have a fantastic day. It's looking like I'm not going to work, which I'm not crying over, but
That's too bad.
yeah, it's too bad because I'd like her to pay me.
Yeah. Oh, is this the same lady that hasn't paid you? Yeah. Okay.
Yep. My partner's going to be off dealing with her momentarily here.
Okay.
Well, he's the one that accepted the job from her, so it's up to him to deal with that end of things.
Right.
Roger just woke up, so you get to sleep in this morning. Very nice.
Oh, yeah, very nice, Roger.
Good for
That's
you, man.
awesome. I know myself, I slept in yesterday and today, and it felt great.
I wasn't allowed to sleep in today, and I could have done with it.
You were up late last night, right?
Because I snuck into bed at 3 o'clock. She said, "You're getting up with me whether you like it or not."
Well, it's all good though.
Yeah, it's a long time since I've stopped up that late. But
I was sound asleep at about 7:30 p.m. last night Eastern. Boom. I was right out. I tried to stay up. I wanted to watch your interview live. I couldn't do it.
So how old are you, David? You got to be, what, 65?
What? No, me?
Yeah.
I'm only 20.
20? So you're the young fella of the group. Sweet.
I was 20 for the third time in January.
20 for the third time.
I'm 60.
Well, you're 60 right on the money. Oh, nice. Very good. And Hugh, you're just a couple years around my age, right?
I'm 51 this year. Yeah, I'm going to be 52.
So I misjudged both yous. I'll shut up now.
It's okay. But I thought you were 29, Rick. So there you go.
Yeah, I am Hugh. That's right. Yeah.
That's right. That's right.
29 plus 13.
I find it hard to judge ages. I really do.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
I don't think David looks 60. I thought David was maybe 50, maybe 55-ish.
He kept saying about being retired, so that was why I guesstimated the 65.
But I know military retire young, right?
Oh, right.
No, I left the military when I was 40.
Oh,
yeah, which is pretty common, right?
Yeah, well, it's a point. It's a 22-year point. It's where it's an important point. I mean, I could have still been on till about. I would have been about 53, which means I probably would have gone to 55, which is the the oldest you can do unless you're commissioned, and I fought to stay away from the commissions. Lots of people who were on the same entry course as me did go for commission, and they just weren't happy because because that's not what they joined to do. I was originally joining to fly, but this stopped me. I couldn't have flown.
Me too.
Yeah. So they convinced me to stay in and fix the aeroplanes instead, which is what I did.
Yeah.
And I stayed as a senior NCO, and I was a very senior NCO, but I'd had enough. As I explained in the thing last night, I was doing something at 4 o'clock in the morning one Saturday morning, when I should have been tucked up in bed, and it was the first job I'd ever done after my training, and it was at that point I decided that enough's enough. It's time to pull the handle and get out of here. And do I regret it? Yes, a lot of the time I do. And as I said on the interview last, I'm saying it all the time. Would I do it again? Oh boy, yes. The drop of a hat. For all the dark side of it, for all the bad things that happened, there was some damn good friends I made, some damn good times I had, and things I would have done and seen that it was the only way I was going to do it was by being in the military. It was just, I wouldn't have done
that makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense, David.
Yeah.
Because generally, like I've not seen anything, and I'm sure if I had followed my grandfather's footsteps, I would have seen lots in the army. But our Canadian Army is so small. Basically, when I was at that age, they weren't really looking for people. I mean, you could have joined, but they weren't pushing hard to, and everybody looks at our military as we're just peacekeepers and stuff. And I didn't really find that was really what I was interested in. I was pretty interested in building stuff.
That was the hardest training course I ever did, was doing training to go on a peacekeeping.
I bet.
Hardest course.
I bet. Yeah.
It was, all the other ones were fairly straightforward. If things started flying and going bang at you, you could bang back at them.
Exactly. That's kind of the whole point of a military, right?
Yeah. Course, you failed the course if you fired a round. As easy as that. He's gone to pick up his aunt from the docks, Roger.
She had her glaucoma appointment this morning, Roger.
Yeah, he'll be back in a little bit.
He's asking what island you're on, Red. I forgot you couldn't see the chat.
I gotta beat my dog. Hold on.
Blind Neil says Manitoulin Island. I think that's right?
Who, me?
Manitoulin Island, yeah.
Yeah, I'm from Manitoulin Island. Sorry, I don't have the chat on. I don't have the computer on today. Yeah, I live in just south of Gore Bay on Manitoulin Island, so that's just a little bit west of the central part of the island, I guess.
I've never been there.
Well, Hugh, you got a spot to stay whenever you guys want to come.
I'll have to make a trip up sometime, buddy.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And that's the thing, Hugh. Even if I'm not around, it doesn't matter. I can just let you know where the keys are, and you guys can do your thing. Yeah, that's why I built that second cottage, right? So anybody that wants, that I trust, can just use it. Just have fun. It's not a cost thing. You got to bring your own food. You can't burn down my bush, but other than that, just have a good time. That's what it's about, right?
Don't burn the place down. I can live with those rules.
Yeah, that's it. Well, we run generator, so there is a wood stove, but we run generator and we cook with that and everything. So there's really no chance,
Yeah.
And there's lots of fishing, and there's a swimming, a sandy beach about 5 minutes away.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, there's a lot of things, especially with your young lad. You guys would actually do well out there. It would be perfect. My nephew comes out, and I don't know where he is on the scale, but he needs quite a bit of help, and he loves it out there. Just loves it out there.
Lynn's asking the question I wanted to ask. Room for an RV?
Of course there is. I got 5 acres. There's room for probably 20 of them.
Oh wow!
Because the front 1 acre is actually smoothed out, and it's a lawn. Okay, dog, you're getting on my nerves. You need to stop. The dog is just destroying the door trying to get out here. I don't know what he wants, but yeah, there's room for RV parking. I even told JDS if he wants to come up, bring his trailer for a week, whatever. The rules are you don't burn the place down and you treat everybody with respect. That's it. Eventually I'm going to buy more property and I'm going to turn it into like a hunting lodge, but that's, time.
Yeah, you're getting a thumbs up from Lynn, and she's saying we should go.
Absolutely. Well, Lynn's not that far. She just has to cross at Sault Ste. Marie and then head east for a 3-hour drive, and there she be.
Phantom Hodges says he used to go every week to Manitoulin. Wow.
Yeah, Phantom knows every road up there. He does for sure. Every good little spot too.
Blind Neil wants you to build him a container shelter so he can move in.
Sweet. I don't need to build you a container one. I got enough material to build any size. I keep everything off the job sites, right? So I've, for 20 years, been hoarding construction material.
It's your moniker, Carpenter Rick.
That's it, right? That's it. Everybody asks, well, why would you put that? You're a drone guy. I'm like, well, because I'm a carpenter. My name's Rick.
I'll build stuff. It's what I do.
That's it. And a lot of the time, I don't even do the physical work anymore. A lot of time, I'm the foreman, right? So sometimes I'm beyond that, which is what I've enjoyed about working on this office for this lady. I actually got to do a lot of the hands-on finish work.
Nice. Lynn says she's got the maps out.
Just Highway 542, Lynn. 14110, Highway 542. Yeah, I don't have neighbors. There's the neighbor's like 1.5 kilometers down the road. He comes and bitches at me every once in a while, but other than him, we got nobody near us.
That sounds great.
It's nice and peaceful. That's the way I like it, right?
Tulin Island.
Neighbors all around me.
Yeah,
A
well, this-
long way from me.
Same thing here, right? Like, we got lots of neighbors here, but that's okay.
But it's not so bad. We get on with most of them, and most of them are pretty decent. In fact, 3 of them were on the same squadron as me.
Oh, nice.
So that's quite good. But the rest of them are pretty good. There's only one we didn't get on with, and he's moved out now. So.
Well, that's the thing. Not everybody's going to get along with everybody, but even if you don't, you just be respectful and ignore them.
Yeah, respectfully ignored him. He tried to say we spent all our time looking in his bedroom window and spying on him.
What?
Are
you serious?
We live in a bungalow, a single-story house, and he lives in a 2-story house.
That sounds like wishful thinking to me.
Even if we were looking in his window, what could we see? His bloody ceiling. Unless, of course, we weren't looking and he has a mirrored ceiling.
That's pretty strange.
Yeah, but he was weird.
Yeah,
it was really, really weird.
Oh yeah.
Well, he's moved, and we don't know where he is. And the neighbours that are in there, they're both. It's a young couple. They're both working, and the only time we've really seen them is the last few weeks. It's because we're away at the weekend when they're here, and we've only seen them now because they're working from home and can't go anywhere but their back garden.
Welcome back, Paul.
Hey, I am back.
That was short.
Well, and the doctor's office is like 2 miles from me, and she lives a mile away from me. So.
Oh wow.
That stuff that I partake in helps with glaucoma. I don't know if that would help her at all, but just saying, Paul.
Yeah. Okay. Well, she gets those shots in the eyes, and
yeah, I get them too, Paul.
I don't know how you guys do it.
Just
it's not fun.
Yeah.
Yep. So I deserve a brownie after that.
Brownie time.
Mm-hmm.
Is Roger still in the chat? Does anybody see him there?
Yeah, he's just commented. He said,
Yep.
Good morning, Paul.
Good morning, Roger.
So are we getting a passing grade on this morning?
I don't know what he thinks how we're doing, but
yeah, that's what I was saying. Are we doing a passing grade here? Or?
I would hope.
Yeah, Phantom Hodges, we weren't going to tell him that.
Furball Kim's here. Pusa Studios.
Good morning, Andrew.
Those rant videos are getting pretty popular there, Andrew.
Andrew.
That'd be his new channel, Pusa Rants.
Yeah, and Andrew is now, looks like he's talking about he has hired people at phone banks to answer your calls.
Well, I have an appointment tomorrow to meet up with Canadian Drone Pilot, so that should be pretty fun. Get the old Mavic Mini and all the fun accessories he's selling me with it.
So There'll be an unboxing then. Even though we know what's in there, there'll be an unboxing.
It comes with that awesome waterproof case that he dunked in the tub there. I can't believe that thing. Even though I knew the Mavic was still good, my heart jumped when I watched the video. But he's got the filters and all kinds of good stuff for that drone.
He's selling you a complete package, you know.
He actually more than a complete package, Paul.
Yeah.
There's more accessories than I would have ever even bought myself.
Right.
It's
And
the fly more and play more combo.
exactly, yeah. And like I said, I'm not discussing the price because we never talked about whether that was okay to talk about, but he gave me such a good deal on it. There's no way I could turn it down. I don't even know if I could have got just the Mavic Mini for the price he's giving it. Maybe I would have just got the Mini itself, but
Well, Canadian Drone Pilot is very, very great and very kind-hearted.
he's super smart, super smart too, super smart.
Destination Chronicles is asking, would that be an unboxing?
Could be. Well, his campground, he's actually in the same campground as my boss, except for my boss has 5 young kids. So he's in the other side of the park, and Canadian Drone Pilot's on the other, like in the same park, but on the other end. So, and they're both drone flyers. They haven't met yet, but I'm going to try and introduce them. So that way, when they're at the camp, they could maybe fly together, right?
I'm wondering if we all say at the same time Andrew's name 3 times, if he wouldn't pop onto the panel.
Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice.
Well, close.
Shall we try? We're going to say Andrew 3 times. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3. Andrew. Andrew. Andrew.
Nope.
Well,
we fail. Oh, my phone's going off. That might be a work call.
You've been paid.
They want you.
That'd be all right if they. Yeah, it looks like we might be. Looks like we might be going to work here shortly. I'm going to sign off, gentlemen. It's been an absolute pleasure.
Hey, Rick, thanks for coming on.
Hey, no worries. I'll try and make an appearance tomorrow morning too, and maybe Wednesday as well, for as long as I can commit to. Anyway, guys.
Okay, sounds good, Rick.
Have a good afternoon, everybody in the chat. Take care, Uncle Roger, Uncle Paul. See you later, David. Cheers, guys.
Bye, Rick.
Bye-bye.
Bye now.
No, it doesn't look like he's coming.
Andrew's up to his mischief again.
Uh-huh.
Andrew is actually selling Canadian Drone Hub franchises.
Franchises, yeah. Oh, he's on the phone. He's going to try in a minute. So he must have somebody he's getting the details off. He must have sold one.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then there were 2 and Hugh.
2 and Hugh, that sounds like a good TV show. So how is the weather up there, David?
Quite a nice day today, which is not what was forecast. They did say it was going to be wet and windy today, but I don't know what the temperature's like, but it looks bright and sunny outside, and it's not that windy, which is good. The brain's not working. The weekend forecast isn't so hot, but the news this morning is that we might get out to play further away and for a bit longer after next week. So Scotland's now gone 2 clear days with reducing cases and no deaths. So that's good news.
Mail call.
What'd you get?
An adapter ring for one of my cameras.
Ah.
Yeah, it sounds like an 80s sitcom. It sure does.
The Weather Studio beat. Listen, Vaughn Coopy, we talk about more than just the weather. Not much more, but a little bit more.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, I mean, unless John, would you rather we went in to talk about our ailments and those kinds of things, or?
Yeah, my knee's been acting up, guys. I tell you.
Yeah, we have a in the ham radio world we have there's a net on 80 meters and we call it the hospital net because it's all the older hams all talking about their various aches and pains and what have you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm kind of hoping that my son gets home nice and early today, talking radio stuff because I've got an aerial I want to make. Well, can finish making and put up, and the weather's perfect for it.
Okay.
He's never home. It's a two-person job, and he's never home when the weather's good.
That's usually the way it always is with everybody. It's like, even if you've got a friend that's going to help you with something, he's never around when you have time, and you're never around when he has time.
Yeah. That's, and upset the neighbour's antenna, but it's going to happen. It's going up.
Quiet in chat. I was saying it's quiet in chat today. I guess it'll take a while for everybody to filter over from.
Migrate over and feel comfortable. Yeah.
It's a good feeling. How are we doing? Oh,
we got 21 watching. That's not bad.
No, not at all. I'm happy with that. It gives most of our regulars that come in and out on a daily basis at least another landing pad to come to,
Yeah.
Indeed. Especially since Desmond shaved the top of his head. Much easier to land.
Yep.
Or David, I'm sorry. I keep wanting to call you Desmond. It's like ingrained in my mind.
You're not getting the same shine and blinding that you were getting from the flat hair. And that little bit that was left in place because I was showing a number 6 on the it's a dialer cut sort of thing, and as I was handing it to her I was knocking it down, but she got to realise when it went like this, and I couldn't get it all off, and so I'll maybe sit down later on and remove the rest.
I told my wife, I said the guard's got to come off. Let's just do this.
No,
and the thing of it is I know guys that are older that still have the straight razors and are able to lather the head and straight razor it off.
I find that a lot of work.
Yeah.
It is a lot of work to actually shave it.
A lot of skill.
Yeah, no kidding.
But basically, I think if you were to wet your head and apply maybe a little lather or soap, like even a disposable two-blade razor would work, I would think.
Quite probably. I'm sure that's what some people use. But Destination Chronicles saying Desmond is the vehicle. But I don't care what people call me. And here we go. As I've said before, you can call me anything you want. Just don't call me late for dinner.
Hello, Quicksilver and north of 54. How are you doing today? We're all here covering. Roger is for the summertime. He wants to take a little bit of time off, and then he'll decide what he does in the fall. His plan is to take off Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesdays, and it's going to be covered by guest hosts. And I'm the first of the guest hosts. So tune in and just kind of, you got to stay tuned as to who's going to be up. But for right now, if you go to my channel, I'll be on for the next few days. And then after that, we'll see how it goes and who else is able to make the commitment. Roger's been doing such a fantastic job for over 2 years, 7 days a week, and sometimes 2 shows a day. And plus he has time to go over and visit other channels. So it's about time Roger had a break to be able to go fly and do some things he would like to do.
Yeah, that was perfect timing as well, Paul, because Gary just asked if Roger was okay.
Yeah.
Yep. Doing all right.
Yep.
Quicksilver, don't worry about it. I was I was actually born in England, as Hugh's saying, but I'm if you like, a naturalised Scot. I've lived up here since I was 16-year-old, bar a few years when the military sent me elsewhere.
Yep.
Paul's the pilot series, a pilot series for pilots.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah, we just want to make sure that Roger gets some opportunities to do some things. And it was Roger's idea. It wasn't anybody else's. He just got to the point where, he's got his new Mini and he wants to fly. But there's many a morning when he's on here committed to doing what he's doing, and it's flying weather outside, and he stays right on point right through the end of the show, and then the next thing you know, the winds pick up and the clouds come in, and he missed the perfect flying time, because a lot of times the best flying time is first thing in the morning.
Yeah. Quiet winds.
Yep.
Good light.
So, if you guys want to spread the word that, if you don't see Roger on, chances are somebody's covering for him. Canadian Drone Hub would be a guest host. I'm one channel, and some other people have offered to step up too, and we're just going to play it as it goes.
We'll do this on air.
Lens on the camera.
Well, I'm going to try to see if this adapter works, but you know what? I don't know. Ooh. Different size. Okay.
Yeah, it certainly is, John Coopy. It certainly is. If I hadn't flown Saturday morning, I wouldn't have flown Saturday afternoon, because it would deteriorate.
Well, I get some of my best ship videos, like you say, between right now, this time of year, between 6 and 8 in the morning. There's nobody down there. The waters are calm for the most part, unless we've got a big north wind. But and the colors are vibrant because it's the sun coming.
Oh yeah, sunrise.
Yep.
Yeah. So
you usually get your lightest winds at dusk and dawn too, right?
Yep. Exactly.
Yeah. Or with the change of the tides. It can
really? How does that affect them?
It can bring a change of wind.
I didn't realize that.
And it'll. I don't know where Paul is tidal or not. It's maybe too far from the sea to be tidal. But
I don't think the Great Lakes have any tides, do they, Paul?
A little bit, not much.
Yeah.
Mostly, it's affected by watershed issues, like water raining, getting into the Great Lakes, and the water will rise and fall significantly, kind of overnight.
Yeah, that can happen. But we live right by the sea.
Yes, exactly.
So we are affected by the tides, and it can make a big difference with the wind. And it's certainly, maybe it's not the weather, but the wind at sea level changes with the tides.
Blizzard FPV. Yeah, Blizzard, that's right. For those of you who didn't catch it, if you go to Canadian Drone Hub, you'll see his latest mowing of the fields that he got yesterday morning, I believe, with his Mini.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
Yep.
That even piqued the interest of my son.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting. There's just something so zen about seeing grass get cut down like that, right? In those big swaths. I could sit and watch that all day.
Yeah, I could sit and watch people cutting grass all day as well.
And it was nice. It was nice and smooth and cinematic. It kind of left you, it was just a little shorty, but it kind of left you wanting more, different angles and that kind of thing, which Roger will learn how to do. He'll learn how to. The biggest problem that Kim and Roger have is they're not used to doing that much with editing, like clip and cut and paste and that kind of stuff. So what they're putting up now is just what they took on that shot.
Yeah, the what you call it, I think I know the real reason Roger's not doing this for 3 days a week. He's practicing.
Oh yeah.
He's after that tower.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. You see that tower way out in the distance, and he wants to fly out there so bad, but he's got to get his confidence level up to trust the drone to return if it loses signal. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm with you, Phantom Hodges. I love work. I can sit and watch it all day.
Yep. And yeah, it's just really nice. So anybody in the chat, are you guys going flying today, or do you have any projects you're going to do? Or I know some of you fly commercially. What's going on with you guys? Anything?
We have quite a few commercial pilots, don't we?
Yes, we do.
Hi, Nomad Unbroken. How's Florida?
Oh, Gary's saying he has a farm playlist on his channel.
Yeah.
I bet, because you live around a lot of farms over there, right? That's where I used to do a lot of my flying, was at my neighbor's farm.
Okay, I'm going to share Roger's farm. Can you guys see it?
Yep.
Oh yeah. It's like it's almost like a Japanese rock garden, you know? Just mowing those little strips. Oh.
All right, 3X drones.
I'm gonna practice some meditation now. Oh. Now you know what I want to see. A follow-up to this video is the baling of the hay.
Yeah.
That's the cutting. Now let's see the baling. That's part 2,
And
right?
then you could actually put the two together. Yep.
Damn, I need that tractor to come cut my lawn. That'd be awesome. Get it done in like 10 seconds.
I couldn't get that tractor on my lawn.
Yeah, I couldn't either, to be honest.
Pick it up. Turn around.
Do it again.
Well, that's a steady shot, Kim. If it was windy.
Yep.
Now, I wonder if that was the Spark or the Mini.
Mini.
The Mini? Okay.
Now that they both have minis, I don't know if anybody's flying the Spark anymore.
That's
I am.
David is.
Oh, but I'm talking about between Roger and Kim.
Yeah.
Yep. That's it. Dramatic.
Cue dramatic music.
Yeah. Yeah, so I thought that was very good.
Wicked awesome.
But as you can see, as it would have been nice, he's learning how to gonna be able to pan down the side, get the side shots and all, and that's all a learning curve, and he'll get over it. The fact that he did so well there, it's literally yes, it may sound cliche, but it's up from here, you know?
Oh yeah. What's up, Nomad? How you doing, buddy? What's the world view from Florida today? How's it looking in there? Nice and warm and
It will. He says it's sunny. It's bound to be warm. It'll be nice. There'll be young women flaunting themselves in front of him. He'll be in a little paradise all by himself.
yeah. Hashtag beach life.
Yeah, Kim, when you can help him edit it to put in some other frames, even if it's just a shot of something else, just keep loading them in. And at the very end, maybe you could put his logo, like Canadian Drone Hub or something, and just do a phase into that, and then end it that way. And whatever music you're using, my suggestion would be is to there's a way to cause it to fade out at the end.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, most video programs have
I
that.
usually fade it in the beginning and fade it a fast fade in, and then a slow fade out at the end.
Most of the music I use is it fades in itself, so that's not so bad. But yeah, controlling the fade at the end is
Yeah, because it removes that abruptness. You know, it's like.
yeah.
But other than that, you guys are going to get it together. I'm sure they just the more you do, the better you get. The better you get, the more you'll do. It's a confidence thing.
Silver's asking me about the upcoming Thor: Love and Thunder. I didn't even know there was a new Thor movie coming out. That's pretty cool.
Well, Hugh, I
Thor:
thought you
Love and Thunder.
would be involved in that production. What do you?
Oh no, it's not me. Oh, 2022. Okay. Well, that's pretty cool. Natalie Portman's in it. Nice. Yeah, I like the Thor movies.
Yeah, that was really good music that you picked on that Kim Rogers video. That's my shortcoming is music selection. I signed up for all these different music places, and it just seems like I never go over there and download them. And so the some subscription might have been for a year or whatever, and then they lapsed, and then I just didn't. I keep going back to the same old dull music because I'm comfortable with it. That's the problem. When you get older, you get comfortable with something.
Yeah.
Roger picked it according to Kim. And
Good
quick spoilers out.
Right back, guys.
Okay, you. So, David, any prospect to you getting some flights in, or?
Probably not today. I will probably leave it at the weekend. I need somebody to come with me. That's my problem.
You're looking for a spotter, huh?
Not just a spotter. I need somebody else there, just to ease the anxiety a bit. And I get awfully twitchy if I'm out on my own.
Well, that's why I have Mia right behind me in the truck.
Yeah, well,
Sits there in the passenger seat and just watches me like a hawk.
Yeah, Destinations Chronicles. I had no problem with it. It was a great video, and it was I love that bit where the guy was obviously spoiling for a fight, and then you said, well, they got bored after a while because nobody wanted a fight, so they went away. And I thought that was absolutely great. I love peaceful protest. It's it's got to be the way. It's the only way. Stealing from your notification that just popped up there, it's the only way to make change. Violence just attracts more violence. It needs to be a peaceful protest, and it was a superb video. It was well done, well put together, and it said everything it needs to say. And on that note, the protests are spreading more and more in this country. but they are violent protests, and that's just goes to the mill for
That's what you call mob rule.
yeah.
Hey, JSK, how you doing? Good morning, good morning. We're covering today and probably will be 3 days a week for the next foreseeable future for Roger, who is taking a bit of a break so that he can get some fly time in and get some things done he needs to get done around the house, and just be able to relax for 3 days a week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So we'll be I will be covering him here, and when I'm not, there'll be other people that will be covering the 9 o'clock hour for Canadian Drone Hub.
The other thing that really pleased me with that Destinations Chronicles video, when it was all over and they'd all dispersed, the area where they'd been, you couldn't tell there'd been a load of people there, no doubt snacking and smoking, and it just looked clean. They'd all taken their stuff home or binned it. It was superb. More power to them.
That's good, because the videos we get out of a lot of other places, it's not that way. It's just devastation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it sure is. And I understand what it's all about, but there's better ways of going about it.
Yeah. John Coupier just posted a video for everybody, if you'd like. This is just a low budget show, so I couldn't pay John to be on here with us on the but I'm sorry. I invited John. Maybe he would do it and take it off his taxes, but as a charitable donation to us. But John probably is hard at work, and I enjoy teasing him about his fame. And he takes it very well too.
He does. And he's having a laugh about it.
But John, if you want to check with your agent, see if it's okay if you came on the panel for a few minutes, that would be good too. But I understand you got to go through certain hoops when you get to a certain level. So.
Oh dear.
But yeah, the weather's been nice. I like the cooler weather too. It's only like 63 degrees here and sunshine, bright sunshine, 0 wind. So I like that.
Let's have a look and see what the weather here is doing.
Yeah, Brant, you're right. It's hard to get a celebrity like John Coupier on the show, and I realize that. I mean, heck, he probably is inundated 24 hours a day from people from all over the world that want John to come and be on their live stream, and you just can't split yourself that much.
It's only 12 degrees centigrade outside, so it's
okay.
So it's not warm outside. It's not that warm outside. It's not that cold either.
Yeah.
But it looks a nice day, and there's not a great deal of wind, so at 12 degrees it'll be comfortable out there.
Yeah, Lynn likes it cooler as well. She has a deck out on the back of her house that faces the south, and she has she put a permanent roof over it, and so it's kind of nice. That's where she likes to go and kind of meditate.
You mean this kind of staff, Gary? Is this the kind of staff you mean? Oh dear, you can't get the wood to make the staff these days. Brant Ariel says you need a staff to talk to his people, so your people.
Oh
Can...
yeah, you know, it's the old my people have your people call my people. Oh yeah, I get it. Okay, Hugh, I see you're going to be popping off, so thanks for coming in, Hugh. We'll look forward to seeing you again maybe tomorrow, and thanks again. Oh, Rojo got bad news from the heating and air conditioning guy. Well, it's like Lynn always says, do what you got to do, but you can always finance it, usually interest free when you're dealing with a reputable company like that.
Ouch.
3,400 a repair. I don't know, with that kind of money, you should be able to almost replace it, I would think, Robert. And that, I think if you replaced it with new, the new stuff runs a lot more economical as far as electric than the old stuff.
Yeah.
Carpenter Rick, his ride to go back to work didn't show up yet, so now he's getting frustrated.
Take care, Phantom Hodges.
Okay, Paul, you take care and drive safe, my friend. And we will see you soon, I hope. And if you get a chance, by all means, fly.
Put that. John Coopy's video queued up to play later.
Yeah, Robert says sounds like Rick's having a case of the Mondays. Oh, 3X Drones was able to fix his own compressor. It was a fan issue.
Yeah, we're sort of kind of waiting for our boiler to pack in.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
I'm running at least 20 or 25-year-old equipment here too, and I just don't know when that's gonna. They keep I have a service contract. They come out twice a year, once for the air conditioning, once for the furnace, and for the last 3 years they've been telling me, well, you know, it's time to change that furnace. We're starting to see some rust in there, and blah 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 blah. But except on the other flip side of that is that company, even though they're great, they're known for trying to rush you into buying them.
Well, our boiler's 20-year-old,
Yeah.
And it's seen better days, but it's still a current model. So
Yeah.
if we can get parts for it, because I have to get somebody in who's competent to check it out, but I can swap out boiler parts myself. They've changed the shape of the case, but the case is now a little bit smaller and shaped, but ours is a big square, well, rectangular thing.
Yeah.
And the parts from the new model will all fit the old model. So until I can't get parts, it'll stay where it is. Because, you know, everything, because, you know, if we have to change the whole thing, it's going to mean the boiler comes off the wall, they put a new one in, and then I've got to decorate. Whereas if I can keep repairing what's there, the tiling and paintwork can stay as is for a little bit longer.
Sure.
So we don't have the problem of air conditioning, Lynn. Very few days a year we need it, so it's just not worth the money.
Lynn was here with Mia while I went and shot some video, and she was out playing with me in the backyard, and she heard my compressor from my air compressor was going outside the house. She said it sounds pretty rough to her.
This our tumble dryer, our dryer was has been or had been acting up, and Lindsay had been eyeing up new ones, and I was busy looking for a replacement part. So she said, "Well, how much is the bit?" And I said, "It's going to cost me £6 and £3 postage to get it here for you tomorrow." I said, "Oh, £6 and free postage, and it'll be here by next week." So we spent the £9. The bit came, and by the time she got in from work the next day, the thing was fixed. It's too many people are willing to chuck stuff away too early at the moment. But that's the pressure they come onto from the salespeople.
Right.
Because there's no commission in selling a widget. The commission's all in selling a new bit.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's like for the people that are servicing anything, if they can just replace it with a whole total new unit that was manufactured off-site, what a great deal. You just hook up the connections, and there you go.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly, Rick. Exactly. And if I can't fix it and it's got a repaired, I try actually and reuse everything. I mean, a new washing machine means I've got a new barbecue. We have to buy a new washing machine because the drums are great for burning stuff in. And yeah,
John, did my debit card work, or are you just waiting for approval? Yeah, I mean, there's so many things. The average person going in doesn't realize what it takes to maintain your current status on what you own. Nothing stays forever. Nothing doesn't need maintenance. I mean, whether it's just a refrigerator, a stove, a washing machine, microwaves don't last forever. All of those kinds of things. Lawnmowers don't last forever. I know Lynn just had to buy a new lawnmower and a new weed whacker, and I ended up buying a new weed whacker, and it just nickels and dimes you throughout your monthly budget.
Yeah, I mean, if it was down to me, our lawnmower would last forever. As in, it wouldn't get used. But yeah, it's all machinery's got to be maintained, and it doesn't make sense to me to let something rot just because it needs a part or it needs some maintenance or that. So
yeah, Carpenter Rick says that they don't dump anything because they really don't have a dump for anything that isn't organic, I guess.
It drives Lindsay daft when something does break. and I strip it down and take it apart and store the bits. He said, well, what you need them for? You never know when you might need something. It might only be the washing machine might just be a cheap piece of steel, but you might just one day need a better steel that you can cut out to fix something else. And
Right.
yeah, it's just got to be, it just makes sense. Obviously, if we had 3 or 4 washing machines, I wouldn't keep all the sheet steel from the cases, but you know what I mean. It's there are some things can be reused, and there's a lot of things in a washing machine can be reused. In fact, the last washing machine that went down, I used 2 bits off the electronics board to fix a TV for my neighbour. Trying to keep up with the FPP talk.
Yeah. Carpenter Rick says everything is hauled off the island unless it can be composted.
It's FPV. It's not something I know the ins and outs of.
No, I don't either, and I know a lot of people have tried to convince me to try it, but at my flying, what I mostly do is cinematic stuff, whether it's ships or special event type things or just a scenic. That's kind of my niche.
Yeah.
I used to fly search and rescue on when called, but now there's so many other people available. I don't have to drive 60, 90, 100 miles to go someplace and look for somebody's dog, cat, horse, child, or grandfather or whatever.
We were talking about that while you were away, in fact, Paul. On Saturday after my first flight, as I brought it back because the place was getting busy, the Coast Guard turned up. And there was 3 of them. They were up there to familiarization run with the WOW. And they were talking to them and talking about drones, and I was explaining what I was doing and what I had. And I said it was something they could probably use, was a drone to search wide areas. And I showed them what I had. I said, you'd need something with the ability to do infrared and thermal, but I'm sure it would be of use. And I gave him my card for my channel, so
Sure.
The guy said they're going to look into it. So
yeah, you would think that they would have the dual, like the DJI Enterprise Duo that has a thermal camera and a regular camera built in.
That would do them a treat, but whether or not they do anything about it, I don't know. Yeah. Hi, Roger. Hi, John.
Roger's here.
Hey, what's going on?
Hi, guys. I'm not for long, but
awesome.
I got one.
I joined right when he did.
I got one question for you guys. Okay, Paul, I was flying the Mavic Mini.
Uh-huh.
And you know that little, on your tablet, you got that little round thing at the bottom to show you if you're...
Show which the way it's going, north, south, east, and west.
Yeah. Yesterday, it was always in the red, with a square box and with a line in it, and red, when I was flying out.
Did it initialize before you took off and said that the GPS location was set? And
yeah, it was green when I took off. Then when I went out, it came red.
Huh. Well, quite honest with you, I never look at that. However, it's nice if you were to lose signal and be able to see which way your drone is headed. But I rely more on what the camera visual is than I do that little round circle at the bottom, where he's talking about, John, where the little pointer moves around the circle, whether it's pointed towards you, towards home, or whatever.
Yeah. And on top of that, I got out to the field and my screen went black. I completely lost everything.
You lost your down signal. You didn't lose your control though. I think you still were controlling it, weren't you?
Yeah, I was still controlling. I even pressed it and returned to home, but it wouldn't engage. I
Wow,
pressed it and
boy.
returned to home on the remote.
Yeah. Now, when you press it, did you press it and hold it?
Well, I pressed it and let go.
You don't just tap it because they don't want you to trigger it by mistake. And hold it until you hear a beep.
Yeah, hold it until it starts beeping at you, then it engages.
Oh, okay.
Because in other words, what the engineers thought, well, you don't want to be out there flying and accidentally just run your thumb across that.
Yeah. Okay. I didn't know that. So then I'll have to.
Yeah,
No,
you hold it down until you hear it go beep 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 beep.
Okay, I didn't know that part. Okay. Yeah, I lost it. My screen went completely black, and I was like on the other side of the trees, and it got me nervous. So I had still controls with the remote, though. I put her up higher so I could see her.
Well, did you? Well, that's the first thing you want to do is if you get behind something and you lose signal, climb.
Yeah.
That increases it. The other thing too is, were you using the little reflectors over your antenna?
Yep. Well, the first time, no.
Okay.
Then I asked him to bring him downstairs for me. He brought him down. I put him on, and tell you the truth, after that, I can't remember if I lost signal again or not.
Yeah, you may not have.
Yeah.
Because you got to remember you're flying Wi-Fi, Roger.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
And our goal should be for you to keep flying the hell out of that. But every time you can, if you can set aside a little bit of money, I'd like to get you into the Air 2.
Oh my God.
Because you won't have that issue. You can fly that sucker for miles.
Yeah. Well, I tried my best yesterday.
Wi-Fi, quite frankly, Wi-Fi sucks.
Yeah, I know. But I didn't think it'll do that much effect just in the field here in the front. You know? I wasn't that far away. I don't know, Kim, how far away was I, Kim, if you're still in the chat? I can't remember how many feet I was away or yards. Hey there, no, I couldn't just stay away this edition of Garlock Chronicles. So I had to ask that question why I was losing signal like that.
Yeah.
Because I did what, 5 or 6 videos of them doing the thing over there.
Yeah.
The haying, and there was one part you'll see on the other video I'm gonna put up. You can see he's almost finished doing his line, and I got up and left and came back home. That's where I was losing signal. Over 400 meters.
Okay.
400 meters. Okay.
Hey,
I
Johnny
feel
West.
like you should have been gotten. I feel like you still should have been able to get more than that. I mean, for reference, I took off with the Spark a few years ago, and I flew very non-optimally. I didn't have a straight path, and I remember getting out like 3,000 feet, and that was just Spark Wi-Fi. Yeah, something's not right there.
But don't forget, I had the trees there too blocking me. So
yeah, that's true too. I had trees too. So, but how high up were you?
I was 200 feet.
Okay, that'll do it.
Yeah, I was 200 feet. I don't, because I wanted to film the tractors close. I didn't want to film too high up.
Yeah, Paul's right. Wi-Fi sucks.
Yeah.
Well, Kim's saying you're behind the forest as well.
Yeah.
Okay, so then that's not gonna bust past that.
I would say if we can figure out a way to get him eventually into an Air 2, it would be the difference between night and day.
Yeah, well, that's for sure. But I mean, that's a lot of money, though. It's a lot of money. So, wow.
Or if we can get him into a Mavic Pro used, that would have OcuSync, but not OcuSync 2. They didn't have 2 in the Mavic Pro, did they? Just had OcuSync?
Yep.
I don't know.
And I don't remember. I used to have it with OcuSync, and it was better than Lightbridge for what I was doing, but when I got into the OcuSync 2 and the OcuSync 2 Plus, which is what the Air 2 has,
Okay.
just you don't even think about that.
Well, I was happy for flying yesterday, that's for sure. And it was freaking windy too, and it handled pretty good for the wind.
Oh yeah, you can't tell by that video.
Yeah, yeah. But you can see the trees moving now, how they were moving.
Yeah, but the stability of the drone and
Yeah.
the footage,
Mm.
rock solid.
I was surprised I got doing it backing up, you know.
Yeah.
Any timeline, the border's opening? No, Johnny West, no timeline yet.
Well, we still don't have one, huh? I don't know.
Pardon?
I was saying they still don't have a timeline, huh? At all?
Yeah. No timeline yet. Yeah, this morning I was listening to your chat, then I had to go off because I had a couple of phone calls and you know, you got bills coming in and all that, so you got to take care of things, right?
Hey, Bill, Metro Drones, how you
Hey,
doing?
Metro. How you doing, Metro Drones? Nice to see you. I noticed Destination Chronicles didn't have a blue wrench a while ago, and somebody else.
Didn't he? Let me look.
No, Destination Chronicles doesn't. No.
Okay. Well, I'll take care of that right now. You gotta remember, Roger, you're talking to a novice here.
And somebody else didn't have one. Blind Neil.
Let me
Good
see.
morning, Kim.
Where's Blind Neil? There he is. Okay, we're gonna make him a moderator too. Okay.
There you go.
All right. Anybody else, Roger? Let me know.
Oh, I just saw them two so far. Yeah, that was my biggest question is why is that bloody thing wasn't working after that?
And it could be a signal situation because, like you said, when you first took off, it was working, right?
Yeah,
Roger?
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the drone's right in front of me and it was working.
Yeah.
I took off, you know.
Yeah, it could be a Wi-Fi issue all the way around because it's just like that's
Yeah.
why my Mini's sitting. It's Wi-Fi, and I've only flown it 4 or 5 times since I bought the damn thing last fall.
That's also why Paul convinced me out of buying the Mini because he said there's just gonna be so many things that
Yep.
you won't like about it, and that's one of them.
Yeah, exactly. Wi-Fi is not your friend.
Now, this is one good thing. I didn't panic when I lost my visual on the what do you call that there? On the
No.
top. I didn't panic. I said I'll get it out. I'll get it out there. I'll get it out there.
Yeah. Well, and the thing of it is climb, and the other thing is push and hold the return to home, and you'll start beeping.
Yeah.
And then as it comes back, Roger, when
Yeah.
it reconnects, you'll be able to see what it sees as it's coming home. And then at that time, you can then tap on the screen, cancel return to home or whatever you
Yeah.
want to do.
Okay.
Right. Verbal Kim says there's some hydro wires there as well, so they will block the signal.
Yeah. Yeah, because my hydro wires are right in front of the house here, and I was just here standing by the balcony.
Yeah,
You know, flying from there.
they'll interfere with Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
They won't interfere much with this thing too. So
Yeah. Metro Jones says Mini is great for the interior work. There you go. Yeah, well, and they might start baling today there, so I'm gonna try and get a hold of the balers. So how they shrink wrap the hay and all that there.
yeah.
Yeah, that's an amazing machine watching that.
Yeah, I'm gonna try and do that today if they do it today because it was pretty wet this morning. So outdoors. Oh, good. Okay. Just reading what John Coopy just wrote.
Oh yeah, I'm having a little FPV chat with Quicksilver there. We've been going back and forth.
Everybody hit that like button for Paul there, guys. He's doing a great job this morning.
Well, we're trying, Roger. Nobody can take your place, but everybody understands that's been in here, Roger, that you need to be able to take a break during the summer months and you'll reevaluate in the fall. And every one of your good supporters have offered also to, if you need them to pop into the chat or to host in your absence, they'd be willing to support you any way they can, Roger.
Well, like I said, I'm gonna see how long it's gonna take me to get my things in order also. So You never know. I might be on before the fall time, or you know.
Well, and like I say, Roger, you just pick a day that you say, oh, it's the weather's gonna be crappy, I'm gonna be on, or
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
just play it
That's
by
it.
ear.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay,
Hey, I
Mitch.
tell you what, I saw your tractor video. It came up, and that was just an awesome little video, man. It was 2 minutes long. It was really interesting to see you follow the tractor. The music was perfect, and I'm just like, this is great. I'm like, I hope to see more of that from you. And now you're gonna have the time to be able to do stuff like that.
Yeah. I got about 4 other videos of that tractor also doing different places there. So you're gonna see more of that tractor.
Yeah.
Then again, like I said, if they were gonna start haying this morning, doing their bales this morning, I would have been outdoors already, but they haven't been out. So I guess the grass is too wet.
Well, I'm sure I don't know how long they wait to let it dry out, and it depends upon the weather.
Yeah, Jack Sparky, I'm doing good. I'm doing good. Yeah. Just taking a little break. Yeah. I'm not on for long there, guys. I still gotta make some more phone calls and all that.
Okay.
So I wanted to stop in and see what the hell that thing with the black
You lost a signal from your
I'm just
video.
doing-
Lost a signal is what you had. Your downlink for video, but I think you kind of indicated and feel, don't you, that you did not lose control signal?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Because they're on 2 different frequencies. So
Yeah. I'm looking at Pusa, what he wrote down.
Yeah, he's shaming you. You should have gone on 3 times a day. You're dropping the ball.
Oh, dear.
Andrew.
Dear.
yeah,
Okay.
Johnny West said he didn't realize it was on my channel. He thought it was still on Canadian Drone Hub. Yep. But it gives Roger a break.
Yeah. It's already 11 o'clock almost, so I'm gonna get going, guys, because I got.
Okay, Roger. Hey, get some more
Take
video,
care.
buddy.
Yeah, well, like I said, I'll try and get some more today for sure.
Yeah.
That's if they're working. Okay, guys.
Okay, and Roger will be on again for sure on Thursday, Friday,
Okay.
Saturday,
And
Sunday.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, guys. Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye,
Bye,
Roger.
Scott.
You take care.
That's good for him to get a break.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Now I just got to figure out how to get him a air too. Yeah, because Roger's such a kind-hearted person. Roger's will do anything for anybody, and he's living on, like most of us, he's living on a fixed income, but his fixed income got really cut in Canada. When he turned 65, John, they cut his benefits and his income.
Yeah, he said something about that.
That's unheard of. Why do they think it cost him less to live at 65 than he did at 64?
I don't know. Doesn't make any sense to me.
Is it not the same as this country? They take you off. They call it universal credit or something in this country, and you still get the same benefits, but it comes out of all the different pots. But
no, they actually physically, David, cut the amount of money. Let's say he was getting $1,000 or $1,500 a month to live on, right? They cut it down to $1,100 or $1,200. Why?
Right. I thought it was like this universal thing in here. The way I understand it is I don't get anything because of my service pension because it feeds into that.
Right.
Sort of thing. And then when when my old age pension cuts in, but that's not for 7 years yet, then it won't take anything off my service pension, but I'll get less of my old age pension because it would take me above the limit I'm allowed, and,
Right.
and that kind of thing.
No, and it's not working like that for Roger.
Just reduced it. That's absolutely crazy.
Yep, they've reduced it.
Absolutely crazy.
And that's the part he's trying to figure out, because he had car problems, so he went out and got a used car, and he's trying to do the best he can do, and all of a sudden now he's got to do the best he can do on less money than he was getting yesterday.
And prices are going up, not
Yeah.
down.
Exactly.
That's absolutely crazy.
So he can't even figure out why his benefits are reduced.
Oh, he calls all the time, and they say, "Well, it is what it is." You know, if you have a problem with it, call the prime minister or whatever. Or, you know, it's just-
Really? Wow, that sounds like a total nightmare.
yep, yep.
That would be like if you were getting Social Security here and then suddenly it was lower. They don't do that here, do
No.
they? Your
No,
Social
they don't.
Security is it until you die, right?
Yep. You get your Social Security benefits all the way through the end, and periodically you'll get an increase. Like every couple of years, they'll increase it 7, 10% or whatever. But in his case, he got an immediate cut. Like I think he said 25 or 30%.
That's crazy. I couldn't imagine having a.
No,
Wow.
how do you budget on a minimal income? How do you budget for that?
I don't know.
Yeah,
That's why I say I'm going to try and figure out how to get him maybe a little better drone once he gets some flight time in, so he doesn't have to worry about is there a tree in the way, you know?
so come to Rick saying Ontario's different. So is that mean it's province or state?
Province by province, yep.
Yeah, at least, well, no, in fact, no, it's heading that way because the pensions is something that's been handed over to the Scottish government eventually or soon. So yeah, it's going to happen here as well.
Dimitri, how you doing?
To me, it just doesn't make any sense. It almost seems like a bad computer glitch or something. That
Well, it seems like a bad movie in my mind. You know, it's like the politicians are all out there telling you how we're going to take care of you. We're going to trust us. We're going to take care of you. And what do they do to Roger?
Yeah. Yeah, I was going to make a comment about him. He's spending his time on the phone to his prime minister about his internet, but he might well be on the phone to his prime minister, but it'll be on about not internet. I think I'd be organising a protest. I tell you,
Yeah.
I'd be. That's as Destination Chronicle says. It's wrong, so wrong. And the thing in this country as well is they've reclassified it as a benefit. It's not a benefit. We've all had to pay something called national insurance to
Yep.
pay for it
Yep.
out of our wages, etc., for your whole of your working life, and it's absolutely crazy. And if you don't have enough working years to qualify for it, you
Yep.
don't get it. And yet they're now saying it's a
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's very puzzling. Hey, John, did you see what Gary Brand Ariel said? He says, "Oh my God, it's John Coopy," and he says, "Palmer, you've now made it the big time." Well, the check cleared, John.
oh,
I got notification that it went through. So
Take care, Quicksilver.
yeah. Take care, bud.
yeah, Quicksilver. Yeah, it's Rick says the same thing. The government figures that retirees or old folks don't need the money; they can live on less. And that's not true. You know, the older you get, the more you have other issues come up. You know.
The government just hopes that you guys die quickly.
Yeah.
That's what they hope for.
Yeah, Johnny West, he's taken a well-deserved break. He's planning on having alternate hosts doing the show Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Then he'll be on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and Friday night, Saturday night as well. For the next foreseeable future, whilst he can get some things done, and he just can't, he's got that new drone. He can't fly. He can't do anything because he's, if Roger says he's going to do something, then come hell or high water, he's going to do it. So he's committed to Canadian Drone Hub, but it's taken away from his ability to do some things that he wants to do for himself. So here's John and David, and Hugh was on earlier, and so was Carpenter Rick, and we're all here supporting him, and we hope that you guys support the efforts that he espouses, and we're going to try and carry on until he'll be back here again Wednesday morning at 9 a.m.
Thursday morning. Or do you know something we don't know, Paul?
Oh, Thursday morning. Quicksilver, have a great day. Johnny West. I think I answered that for you. Yes, he's Roger's taken a little bit of a hiatus, and if you guys didn't see it, he did. He was able to fly and get some video with his new Mini.
Yeah, Roger needs Roger time. Yeah, exactly. Well said.
Speaking of drones, have any of you guys seen the ad for the Drone X Pro lately on YouTube? You guys know what I'm talking about? By chance?
I've not seen it.
Oh goodness, you don't want to see it. It's so bad. It is probably the biggest scam ad on YouTube I have ever seen. I'm hoping somebody in the chat knows what I'm talking about. And it's back for the summer.
There's some Rogers video he did yesterday.
Yeah, that was a great video.
They're chopping hay up. Oh,
that Mini's got good quality.
Yeah, I thought he did a really good job on it.
Mm-hmm.
And they turn around and come back again. Now, tractors and everything nowadays are so they're smart tractors. I'll bet that that's running on a GPS system. Because look at how that skid just goes right
where it needs to be, yeah.
Right down that row. And straight, straight, straight.
Biggest case of fault. I'm going to have to go and look it up.
Roger's getting the hang of it.
He's doing good.
I think he is too. I think he's doing really good.
You take care, Kim. 3 hours to cut the lawn.
Oh, wow. I cut mine yesterday and weed whacked the front yard. And I cut front and back yesterday, and it was about an hour and a half by the time I get done. But I have a 0-turn too, a John Deere. So,
Kim, can you not get a loan of that tractor?
Yeah, there you go. Kim needs a tractor like that.
That tractor will have it cut in half the time.
In no time at all. Yep.
Right, I'll just be 2 seconds, Paul.
Okay. Take your time, David. John and I got it. John's used to high pressure stuff, you know?
Oh, yeah.
John's a seasoned veteran. John knows what it's like to be in the spotlight for long periods of time.
I know what it's like to be put on the spot to tell a joke, too.
Yeah, I saw that. You know, if somebody were to ask me to tell a joke, John, what I'd do is I would ask Alexa.
Now, if I had an Alexa, then I'd have someone to ask.
Yeah, makes it real easy. Alexa, tell me a joke. I asked the wrong one. The one over here thinks I want to tell her a joke. Alexa, tell me a joke.
What happens when all the other birds fly off without you? You feel ostracized.
Oh, wow. Wow.
Yep. Kind of
You like the Alexa?
Yes. It's very good.
Sorry, I don't know that one.
I know. Okay. It's very, they'll play music. It'll answer your questions. It'll give you the temperature. It'll give you the wind speed. It'll tell you what the weather is today, what the weather is tomorrow, the weather next day. All those kinds of things you just have to ask, and it will do it. Alexa, stop.
Yeah, 3X drones. I just don't know how Facebook or YouTube is allowing them to do what they do either. Well, I guess I do, because it's not like anyone is really watching these websites, to be honest. We kind of know that at this point. People just do what they want on here, I think. And the robots take care of it.
Laughing at Andrew. I don't know if Kim's still here. I was just saying, can you not get a loan of that tractor, Kim? It'll only be done in no time. It's Facebook and YouTube make a big thing about scams, etc., etc. But if it was the case, there wouldn't be any on there. But they're there. They're all the time. I've not seen or heard this Drone X Pro thing, so I'm going to have a look at it before passing any comment. But you would, if it is a scam, you would think they'd be onto it.
Yeah, just search for Drone X Pro in YouTube search, and you'll see a whole bunch of people debunk basically what they're doing and all that. But the advertisement promo that they make for it and that they pay to put in YouTube videos is just horrendous. They literally show, okay, they're selling what amounts to a $30 or $40 toy, but they're throwing in the real Mavic Pro in the advertising. They're throwing in footage that is not from the drone. It's just straight up misleading, false advertising. It's duping people who don't know anything about drones into spending like $100 or $200 on something that's not what it claims to be.
Right.
And I just don't understand how YouTube continues to allow this ad to come up. I mean, I started seeing it in November of last year, and then it went away after Christmas was over. And now I guess it's the summer and for North America, and it's back again.
Anything goes, yep.
Yeah, and I'm seeing it on all sorts. I mean, the video, the Drone X Pro ad rolled over one of Roger's videos. It rolled on one of his streams.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go and give it a look. I think it's as I say, I've searched, I've done the search in Google, and I've got loads of ready for later to go and look at. It's
oh yeah,
it's yeah, it amazes me what people can get away with.
Yeah, like 3X Jones says, if you've ever bought a drone and seen this advertisement and the price, you would think, wow, this is an amazing drone. And anyone who does it and buys it is going to get so burned. It's so bad. And I don't get it, because I've reported it on more than one occasion, and it just keeps coming back up. I just guess YouTube is just asleep at the wheel, like they are about a lot of things, honestly. I guess I just shouldn't be surprised anymore.
Well, the other one that I feel bad for is these ads that come out, John, where you can get in on the ground floor and you can buy this futuristic drone or whatever it is, may be, and you'll be the one of the first ones to get it. Just send in $200 now or $500 now. And those guys get burnt.
Yep.
Sometimes they get partial of their money back or all of their money back, but the money's still out there, you know?
That one, Sean's doing, is it Tiny Drone 4 or something? As a case and example. And from what I sort of background I was doing on that, he did the same thing with the previous version. And he's back with a new version and people are still investing. I don't think I'd have the brass neck to come back after getting away with it once.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's sad because, you know, for what it is, if for the normal price of $30-$40, yeah, that's fine. But oh my goodness, to make an ad that implies that it's like the real Mavic Pro and to use all the false foot, I mean, it is just so bad, and I don't get it how YouTube just continues to allow it. But well, it is what it is.
It's surprising. I mean, it must be advertised in this country, so I'm surprised that the trading standards people in this country haven't got involved.
Yeah, right. And we're talking a lot of stolen footage is in the thing too. Like 3X Drones was saying, it's got footage in there from Ready Set Drone, Kelly Shores. They literally just ripped his video and they used it in their ad. They've also got video of a racing drone, FPV one, crashing through glass, and I know what video that's from. It's from a Rotor Riot video. Josh Bardwell and all them, they all did it. And why is that in there? I don't know. It's got some text saying this drone is virtually indestructible, but that's not even the drone. They're just using stolen FPV drone footage. It's just wild. I don't know how they get away with it.
Yeah, it's like you say, it's false advertising.
It certainly sounds like it.
And if you were a big, like an auto company or something that did that, they'd be hell to pay. But seems like these little guys maneuver through the cracks.
Yep. Oh, Blind Neil says he's seen it on Facebook. Right, 3X Drones. You want to know what's funny? I clicked on Brian's recent video about the Drone X Pro, and you know what came up? An ad for the Drone X Pro on that video. So I actually saw that yesterday. That's kind of why I brought it up, because apparently, I guess it's, like I said, the video is making its rounds, and he made a video showing what a piece of junk it was for its price anyway.
Uh-huh.
To warn people about it.
That says a lot about the bot then. That does the algorithm. You would have thought that had been, you know, they wouldn't have put that advert up against that that video, but it would be so funny to see that. I may just have to go and have a look at that one as well. I'll probably get something else. I'll probably get a genuine DJI advert or something.
Well, you know, everybody has the right to buy whatever they want to buy. I get that. But common sense should, over a period of time, give you the opinion, unless proven otherwise, if it seems too good to be true, it is.
Probably is.
Oh, yeah.
Because if everybody could buy let's say a DJI Phantom 4 Pro Advanced for $199, they would be.
Of course.
And they wouldn't have to advertise for it's kind of like what happened. Remember when, was it Walmart, when we all went and bought those Inspire 2s Flymore packages for
I remember that.
$29.99. And it's like I ordered like I think 12 or 15 of them. And for 4 or 5 days, we were all excited, man. We were getting the deal of the century. And then Walmart figured it out, and it was Walmart had it on their page as from a supplier in New York, and the orders must have gone through to the suppliers in New York, and all of a sudden they're going, whoa, 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 whoa. And they immediately refunded all of our payments. And
Yeah.
but I kind of thought since I ordered 15 of them, you'd think they'd send me at least one at that
Not
price.
if it one of them, yeah.
But I guess you can't blame them. They don't want to set a precedent of,
Yeah, can you imagine what would have happened if somebody had got one
Yes.
and gone on and said, "Look what I got for $29.99."
Yep. Yep. But it was fun while it lasted. I had people, friends of mine from all over the country, calling me, "Put my name on one. Put my name on one."
There was, it certainly kept the topic of conversation going for weeks.
Oh yes. Yep.
It was.
John Spizzo is correct. Nothing is free.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the talk for a month or two about how we almost got Inspired 2s, which at the time those packages would have cost you about $10,000 or $12,000 for $29.99.
It was with nothing, as it turned out, John.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh boy. Drone crashed into a police helicopter, but it was not.
And it's not a
hobbyist drone.
hobbyist drone.
Oh boy.
Wow.
Thank goodness for that.
Yeah,
Let
but
me guess. It was a police helicopter over protest or something, and one of the cops
Either
also probably
either
had
a news agency or
Yeah. I
it won't
bet you
come out
was
that
it.
way, though, will it? It won't be in the news that way. It'll be drone crashes into, police helicopter. They won't mention that it was a commercial drone.
Well, this is 17 minutes. I will have to take a look at that later. That's
Yeah,
interesting.
I don't mean in that video. I mean in the press in general.
Oh yeah. Oh, this happened in Canada. During coordinated mission in British Columbia. Oh boy.
Actually crashed into a manned helicopter, and it was actually the police. The police crashed into it. I was like, what?
Oh.
According to this report, the helicopter, the model is an AS-350B3, and it says here the owner is the Government of Canada, the Royal Canadian Mounted Police. So yeah, it's basically a government-owned aircraft with actual people in it, and it crashed with a drone. It says the aircraft event information, collision mid-air, force landed. The assumption usually is, okay, which recreational guy was flying this or whatever. Nope. According to this, it says the owner of the unmanned aircraft. It says Government of Canada, Royal Canadian Mounted Police. So I guess they were doing like an operation or something like that. And it says the phase of flight, a climb. And the damage, the drone was destroyed. So it says here, an aerospatial AS-350B3 operated by RCMP Air Services was conducting
Unbelievable.
Yeah, all those Canadian drone rules, they do so much, right?
Yep. Canadian police, a crash with a Canadian RCMP helicopter. So much for getting after the FPV guys, you know?
Yeah, I know. Oh man. But you know, on the plus side, even though that happened, what happened? Did the helicopter go down? Did anybody
Helicopter
die?
landed. Yep, helicopter
the-
landed. The only thing that was destroyed was the drone.
Exactly. That's the other good thing to come out of it, which pretty much that's what always happens when you hear these stories. I have yet to hear about a helicopter that's been downed by a drone.
Yeah, now if there'd have been a loss of life, oh boy. But
I don't know. I've always thought I've always felt it's really unlikely for any of our drones, like Mavic size at the very least, to cause a loss of life with a helicopter.
yeah,
Really, really unlikely.
It's unlikely, but a helicopter on drone is more likely than a helicopter on other aircraft type of situation to cause a loss of life, because even on a single engine, Cessna type thing, if it took,
David, in a few years, if they do have electronics required on drones, an accident like that probably would never occur, because the helicopter would have seen the drone on their instrumentation, and the drone operator would have seen the helicopter on his instrumentation, and they would have been easily avoided. So I see it's more like, when did they decide to put bumpers on cars? When did they decide to put stoplights and stop signs and things on highways way back? It's an evolution type of thing.
Mm-hmm. I've no problem with the rules. It's just, the loss of life accident that's likely to happen. I've always seen it as being a drone helicopter thing. It's the most likely to happen. I'm not saying it's very likely than against anything else. A drone against, say, a Cessna. The Cessna is not going to be damaged that it can't glide and land somewhere.
Right.
And a drone, a big drone even, against something else. All right, against a large airliner, if it did knock out an engine in such a way that it took out both engines, extremely unlikely. I'm grasping. With one engine, you would expect a modern day airliner to get back round and land without too much problem. But the likelihood of any of that happening is so small. It's but the big one is the one that's happened, and it's happened without loss of life. That's great. That was the one I was worried about. A helicopter and drone. Just helicopters are. There's nothing wrong with them. It's just they've always made me nervous. It's unnatural, shall we say?
Well, David, do you think that actually eventually, I don't know how you pull back now, since it's pretty wide, what the common differentiation to any kind of an aircraft that isn't a manned aircraft is a drone, where originally the drone designation was a military aircraft used, and now it's used for everything. Instead of saying it's an unmanned aerial vehicle, everything's a drone, and in most people's minds that aren't educated, oh, it must be bad because the military uses them.
Yeah. That's maybe where part of the problem comes from, the name of it.
Yep.
Yeah, Blind Neil. It makes you think, doesn't it? But it's I'm trying to think. Yeah, maybe it's down to us to start calling them quadcopters or and that, and to try and take away the name drone, perhaps,
Yeah, yeah,
take away the association with the military UAV and its armaments.
yep, yep. Because you say drone, and people think, oh, it must be armed. It must be able to do
Well, they
something.
they don't think something that size. They think
Yep.
something
Big, big.
bigger. Yeah.
Yep. Although now that technology keeps increasing, you get into some of those huge UAVs, FPV UAVs. What do they call them? Not extra class or giant class or whatever. They're doing 160, 170 miles an hour, and they have a wingspan on these UAVs of 4 or 5 feet, and the motors on them are big as your fist, and those babies, woo. I've watched some videos of guys flying that class UAV, and he must have gone 10 acres in a blink of an eye. It's just like,
Yeah.
And nothing wrong with that, but it's just like, if you're flying, well, John, maybe this is a question for you, your expertise. If you're flying at that speed with goggles on, how do you see anything ahead of you that far when it's moving that fast?
What speed are we talking about exactly?
140, 150 miles an hour?
I don't know because
by the time you let off on it, you're already there,
Yeah, I mean, I guess. Well, I guess it might be like being in a car going that fast on the Autobahn. I mean, you can do that, right? So, yeah, I would have to feel that. I would have to feel what that's like for myself. I guess you just, that you're going to be from there to there in a certain time. A lot of it's muscle memory. A lot of it with FPV is muscle memory. You just know how fast you're going to do a flip, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, in an X class, that's what they call it, X class. In the X class drone, those things can haul. And to have goggles on, okay, so now your field of view is this, and you're doing 140, 150 miles an hour. It's like, how fast does, let's say, a bird or whatever come into view when it's crossing, and you're doing that kind of speed? Is it by luck that you miss it, or
Well,
what?
on the same thing, how do fighter pilots do it? And you're talking then hundreds of knots and
Well, they usually hit them, don't they?
thousands of knots of closure.
Hang on a minute, guys. Carry on. I got my neighbor coming to the door.
Right. But that's down to training, which is, as you say, John, muscle memory.
Mm-hmm. Oh, of course, what a lot of people don't know is, at least in this country, the max allowed speed of a hobby drone is 100 miles per hour. I do see some people going above that with their FPV stuff, but it's technically not allowed. So if you have a drone that could do like 140,
yeah, but then
they don't want you doing that.
I mean, the speed limit in this country is for cars is 70 mile an hour, but everybody's got a car that can do a lot more than that. Well, yeah, Blind Neil's brought up cars there. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It was a bird strike then, was it? Blizzard FPV. Yeah. That can happen, especially with a single engine jet. There's a lot of energy going round in circles when one of them goes. It can shred the aircraft. That's what I don't like about helicopters. I was working in the North Sea when those ones went in there because of gearbox problems, And when you think about it, everything, all that weight is hanging off that rotor, and it was those bearings that were going. Um, yeah, never been sure about flying in helicopters. I mean, I've done plenty of it in my time, but
Well, I'll tell you what, I've never dealt with a real helicopter before, but I figured out pretty quickly that out of all the RC that I have, after getting a few helicopters, when they crash or they have a problem, they're the most complex thing to have to deal with. The swash plate, all that crap. It's ugh. A plane so much easier and simpler to deal with and fix. A drone, that's the easiest of all, but a helicopter, forget it. I quickly realized, yeah, when this is not the part of the hobby for me. I'll leave the helicopters to the hardcore helicopter guys.
yeah.
Very complex.
I've never owned a radio control helicopter. I've seen one, and I've had one, up close, and I've started it up. But when the guy said, "Well, take it off," I said, "No, there's your control back. I don't want to play it."
They're money pits. They can end up being huge money pits because they just don't break kindly. They don't, and I'm sure the same thing translates to the real life ones. You got all that going on.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. Whenever you're flying in a military plane, I used to think that Blizzard, yeah, this has been built by the lowest bidder.
That's true. That's true.
But no, I flew in all sorts of types in the military, and because I was a maintainer, we knew what went into maintaining them. So it wasn't really a worry, but I could never get over helicopters. It just one of those things. And I mentioned the Chinook earlier to Rick about moving ISOs, the shipping containers, and I absolutely refused to fly in one of those. That was the most unnatural bird of a generation, of a type, helicopters. I said no. I'll wait for the next one, knowing full well that the next helicopter that was coming was a Sea King, and at least it only had one fan. But yeah, it was just, it's just one of those things about flying for me. It was and I know Lynn. If Lynn can't be here because I'd have had a comment by now. She must have gone, and I'd have had a comment about my aversion to flying in helicopters.
To think of it, I've never actually been in a helicopter yet, not for a tour or nothing like that yet. I got to do that at some point.
Yeah, I haven't been flying in a plane for a while now. It'd be nice to get up and do something like that again. But, for the moment, it's me and my drone.
I'm good with that too.
Yeah, I was saying earlier, I like the perspective it gives you, because it allows you to go back somewhere where you've been many times, and you put the drone up and you get a different view of it, and it's a completely new experience of the area.
Every time it's something new.
Yeah. And I flew twice on Saturday, and I flew roughly the same track because of the bridge that was there. But the two 10-minute videos from the flights, and they're both different. And yet, I flew roughly the same path. Turns were different and what have you, but the videos, the lighting's different, the shadow's different, what's going on the ground was different.
It's new every time.
Yeah. And when I started editing, putting them together to try and make one video, and I looked at it and said, I can't. It might be the same sort of track down the river and back, but they're so different. It's two videos. It's not one video, it's two. So I've given up trying to make it into one video. It's going in two.
Video editing is what I was working on earlier this morning. I was yesterday. Oh, it was so hot yesterday. Shouldn't have gone out. I was sweating my butt off, but I wanted to get a review done of some goggles.
Right.
Hey, John, have you ever delved into fixed wing flying?
A little bit, yeah. I had what do you call it? I had a Horizon Hobby Sport Cub S. I had one of those.
What did you?
It was okay. I kept having a problem though that it kept wanting to veer off to the side, and I never really got that thing to fly right.
Oh, okay. I would imagine it's like anything else. There's top of the line, middle of the line, and bottom of the line. You know, top of the line ones. I have been told I've never seen one fly. I don't know anybody that owns one, but they say they fly like a real aircraft.
The toughest part for me, honestly, with any of that stuff is finding somewhere that I can use
Open
it.
space.
Yeah, an open space with no trees that are gonna, get in your way. Oh man, I got that thing stuck in trees on more than one occasion. You just need, that's where the whole club thing comes in handy. Really, you got to be a member of a club and go to the flying field.
Yeah, that's the one thing that took me away from it, and I went from flying fixed wing. I went to actually radio controlled boats, yachts in particular, because the sail was like the wing sort of thing. You were relying on for your you were using the sail the way you would a wing effectively, and then the drone came about. So,
yeah. I'm amazed at some of those guys that have radio controlled huge. I mean, they got to have a boat trailer to put them on aircraft carriers, and they actually take then drones off of the aircraft carrier.
Oh, wow.
So the aircraft carrier goes out on the water, and the drone's sitting there, and they fire it up and take off, and they come back and they land on the aircraft carrier. And
oh, now that would be nice to play.
But that aircraft carrier is 16 or 18 feet long.
Yeah, and how much did it all cost to put together? Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, David, it's kind of like those guys that fly those real jet engine, 16-foot long jet radio controlled jets,
Yeah.
I think just the jet engine alone is $15,000 or $20,000.
Well, that channel I've mentioned before, Dubious Engineering, he's got a couple of videos on his channel where he takes you around the workshops of the people that build those engines, and they're incredible. And they run them up to test them, and it's just absolutely incredible. And I've seen planes flapping their wings before, Blind Neil.
Speaking of planes, let me show you guys something, because I have yet to get this in the air. I'll
Destination Chronicles said, I saw a funny video today of a giant paper airplane with drone controls where a squirrel hijacked it.
That's a total different meaning to the look squirrel.
Yeah. Yep. Yep, that would be hilarious. Or if you had a trained squirrel that you could put, the Snoopy goggles on and the whole bit, put them in a cockpit, fly them around. Well, there's another YouTube channel where they build oddball aircraft and fly it, and some of them are huge winged aircraft. They fly them FPV. They got their own field and everything, and they show you how they make the wings, they make the fuselage, and how they install all of the control surfaces and everything. I'm an out of the box flyer. I'm not looking to fix anything, engineer anything, or make it work. I just like to fly out of the box.
Just like to fly, yeah. I've done the building. I've done the maintaining of real aircraft, but I've done the building of model aircraft to fly, and that. And yeah, these days I'm the same. I charge its batteries and take it flying.
Yep, exactly. Just get up and go.
Here, check this out. Because we're talking about fixed wing, it's not necessarily that, but this is really interesting because this is a VTOL basically, and it just takes off, and then you can ride it and fly around. I mean,
Oh, so those front motors tilt up as well as the back one?
Yep.
They
Yep.
give you a lift off, and then you just tilt them forward and go.
Exactly.
Now, have you? How does that fly?
I have not flown this yet. I have to put it up in the air. I want to get it up in the air this week.
Oh, wow.
But yeah, since you brought it up, I'm like,
That's cool.
it
How's
does. It looks really cool.
Is it made out of foam, or what is it?
Yeah, it's made out of foam. It's pretty much made out of foam. It's got little brushless motors, but I will say one thing that makes me really nervous about this is that the servos have plastic gears in them, and I'm pretty sure that's not going to survive too well in the crash. So
Yeah.
I gotta be really careful with this thing.
So it's basically foam with that covering over it, shrink wrap to it, or whatever.
Yeah, and the battery's in here. I'll show you where the battery is.
Yeah,
Little
well, Neil,
battery.
I've seen that video where the guy made the jet aircraft with a leaf blower. That was
Oh yeah.
Little batteries in here. But yeah, I'm a little worried about these servos because if the gears in there really are plastic, I don't know how well that's going to crash. But it does look pretty cool, doesn't it?
Oh, it's really cool.
I will get it up as soon as I possibly can. But yeah, I thought I'd show that to you guys. You know. and
Well,
this is
thanks.
small
That's
enough-
cool.
and this is small enough that really you could go to a park and take it up, and
Yeah.
Yep.
it's a good little size.
Or in your backyard or wherever, just take it off.
Yeah, especially since there's nothing behind me, I could do that there. But I would probably want to be in a decent open spot because I don't know what it's going to be like once I get on the sticks.
Yeah, and you don't know how much power that those motors, they're going to have significant power, but is it going to be enough to do a stall or a flip, and how it reacts when it flips over? And
Right, I'm going to want to have some decent height and some decent room to figure
Yep.
out
Yep.
just how the thing works exactly.
but I take it came with its own designated controller, right?
It did, yeah, it did. I'll show you the controller real quick.
Usually those packages come with a
Yeah.
controller and drone and. But the fact that it's vertical takeoff, David, that intrigues me.
yes, that's yeah.
XK always comes with a controller.
Okay. Now, what kind of camera is on board? Is there a camera on board?
No, there's no camera on board this
It'd be nice if it had a tiltable front nose camera, wouldn't it?
It would be, and you know what? It looks to me like they thought about doing that because you see this.
Yeah.
Ooh,
This looks like a little slot for
Yeah,
what?
I thought that was a
maybe-
camera.
Yeah, I thought it was a camera too.
Yep, I did too. It looks like they thought about it and then they abandoned that idea.
Yeah.
But I tell you what, I would probably cut a small little spot in here maybe and throw in one of those little all-in-one FPV cams. What? Those are like what, 10, 15 bucks?
Yeah.
And then it would be FPV. I would do that.
What kind of price point in general is that?
This is about $100.
Okay.
Seems a little expensive for foam, but
Comes with the controller and everything.
yeah,
And
that's
the
true.
intriguing part of that, John, and I get it because I think you're intrigued, is the vertical takeoff.
Yes.
If
you
that
know,
was
well,
if that was just another drone that had to run down the runway and take off, or you had to hand launch by pitching it. Now, the fact that it will vertically land and take off is like, wow.
That's right. Yeah, and I mean that means you can really kind of launch it from anywhere.
Yep.
You don't need a runway.
Well, and you
So,
don't need an open grassy area to land it,
Yep.
because you're
You
just going to come back, hover it, and then just bring it down. You know.
press a button, it'll right itself, and there you go.
Yep.
It,
That's
I
cool.
am not very good at flying planes.
I've got to go looking
so-
for some video on that.
Oh yeah, I'll be working on that one.
What's the manufacturer, John?
XK. I've had a few products from XK. They tend to be okay.
Yeah.
They tend to be okay. It's the XK X4 X45 X450. It's got little LEDs. It's a cute bird. I think it'll be good. Like I said, the only thing that worries me is the servos in there. That bothers me. But we'll see how they hold up.
I don't know if you've seen that, John. Destination Chronicles says duct tape a camera to it.
Oh no, duct tape and hot glue. Those are my two favorite things.
Yeah. Engineer's Toolkit, WD-40 and duct tape. If it moves and it shouldn't, duct tape it. If it doesn't move and it should, WD-40. What else do you need?
Forgetting the hot glue. You gotta have hot glue too. I put hot glue all over everything. I'm awful at that.
Hey, John, this is interesting. This is Amazon, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um,
That's it.
That one isn't it, because it doesn't have the tail rotor. This has got a tail rotor, but not like what you have. This is the one that looks like X450, right?
Yep, that's it. Actually, I think both of them are. It's just the other one is a weird picture. The 138 one is a weird photo, yeah.
38.99 or 161. Here's another one. Is that are these the controllers? Yeah. Okay.
Yep, that's it. That's right. That's it. That's the
Okay.
PX. Yes,
Yeah.
you can get it from Amazon.
Yep.
I think it's probably marginally cheaper on BG, but you're better off getting it from Amazon. That way, if there's any problems, just return it right
Well, yeah.
back.
If you got it defective, you just call them up and they'll
Just
say
return
they'll
it.
mail you the shipping label and everything else.
Yeah, exactly. Now I've seen it. I've seen the thing go on sale before at Banggood for like $70. So I see some people taking the risk on that, but yeah, you thinking about picking it up if I have a good experience with it?
David is.
Well, I'm intrigued by it. Yeah. Just because of its VTOL, then fly it like a plane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, do some good video of it. That'd be fantastic, because you just don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Hot glue the servos. Yeah. That's a good one, man. That's what I did with my camera on my my FPV build. I found the board just rattling around inside because the casing had cracked right through. Put some hot glue in, works. Whoop camera vibrating around, hot glue.
The intriguing thing, John, would be if you could engineer a camera that would tilt and go into where they didn't do it. You just
that would be
tuck
cool.
it in there, you know?
That would be sweet.
If you could unscrew that out of there or something, and then find one that would fit in there and just be like part of it.
And then you could just move the lens.
Yep, up and down. Yep.
I tell you what, I don't know if I really liked what they did here though, because you see what they did by and you don't have a lot of room to move it more forward, so you're pretty much going to just be looking at the ground all the time. I don't really know what they were.
Well, maybe, John, is that the only sensor down low?
That's
Maybe
the only...
that's the sensor for landing.
No, there's nothing there. It's literally hollow. I can put my
okay.
finger in it. It's literally hollow. Yeah, there's nothing in there. Yeah, it's not. It's not a sensor. It's
Does it have any landing sensors at all down underneath it?
No, not that I'm aware of. No.
Oh, so in other words, like you better know what you're doing when you bring it down.
Oh yeah. Yeah. You wouldn't mess around with that one.
And the other thing too, I wonder why they didn't put any like little wire legs with the little tires on it, whether you're going to use it for that or not. When you come down, it would have something to land on, you know?
Yeah, I'm surprised that there's nothing like that either, unless I'm missing it, but I didn't see it in the box.
Because you said it's basically styrofoam, so you could get some wires with little and make an angle and get some of them little tires, put them on there, and then clip the end up and put 3 on there, you know?
Yep. I guess they just I guess they just figure you're not gonna come in for a landing with the like this, or if you do, you just glide on the ground. They just figure you'll write it and land it like that. Because you're right, there's no tires. If you, in fact, I probably wouldn't want to. I probably wouldn't want to land it on the grass or anything like that.
You'd have to if you were going to land it, you'd have to switch the motors off and glide it in.
Yeah.
Well, what I was wondering is when it lands, John, does the rear rotor? See, what I was thinking is that the front rotor's tilted up. The rear rotor actually takes some of the weight and it comes down in this position. But what you're saying is it does this and then comes down, right?
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
But I was envisioning it coming down just like if it did have tires and wheels and landed like this. You know, kind of like the VTOLs do.
Yeah, I mean, well, wait. Well, I think we're talking about the same thing. It's gonna come down like this. It's gonna be nose up, and it's gonna be holding itself up, kind of like a drone does.
I was looking at it as though the front motors transitioned, and the back motor kept spinning, and it kept it level, and then it just descended the level down to the ground.
I'll have to check it out. I'll definitely have to check this thing out to see what the story is.
Cool. Well, you're gonna have some fun with that, John.
Oh yeah, it should be a lot of fun. That's for sure. Yeah, yesterday I spent my time doing these goggles. I did a distance test with them. These are the ones that John DiNardo's interested in. So now that I'm done with this, I have to get up with him because I actually really liked them. I thought these were a really good budget goggle. Finally, something you can wear with glasses.
Oh, there you go.
I don't look like a doofus at all.
No, and it works good with your glasses.
No, yeah, it seriously does work good with my glasses. Usually, you're just out of luck with goggles and glasses. But
yep. Oh, cool.
I had no trouble with those. I was very surprised. I went out and I did a distance test, and I was able to get close to 2,000 feet out with these on just like a wide open spot. So, you know, I thought that was pretty good.
Cool.
That's the review I'm working on right now. I got all the flight part done because I went to the park. I flew a Whoop. I flew a Cinedrone, and then I flew my build and did the distance test somewhere else. So I've got all that. I'm working on, and then I want to take these, open them up on the bench, and show people what's inside of them because I'm pretty sure there really is 2 receiver modules in here. Opening that up will prove that to people because a lot of times they sell these goggles or goggles like this, and you see the 2 antennas, but there aren't 2 receivers in there.
So they're off the one board.
They're off the one board, right, and you don't get 2 receivers. But I think these are real diversity. I think these are real diversity, not antenna diversity. So that's the case, that's a home run.
Cool. Well, it sounds like you got some things to explore and to do, and that's really good.
Oh, yep. As soon as I get off the stream, I'll get back to doing that. And
Well, I think
hopefully
what we're going to do is I don't think Andrew's going to join us, so I think what we're going to do is we're going to close down at noon. What do you guys think?
Yeah.
works for me. It's 10:57 at my time. So you're saying
3 minutes.
Eastern time.
Yeah,
Cool,
that'll give you time to get some of your stuff done. And David, over there it's 5 hours. That would be 5 o'clock. What's dinner time over there? 5 or 6?
Oh, it's a kind of variable feast. I'll have something after the stream,
Yeah.
and then I'll do a proper supper
Okay.
later on.
Yeah, because I know Europeans, you guys eat later, right?
Well, no, it's Lindsay doesn't come in from work till late. So
Oh, okay. Okay.
Are you going to be streaming tomorrow?
Yes. Yeah.
Roger as well. Okay.
Yeah, tomorrow and Wednesday. And
Cool,
we'll
cool.
be looking for John Coopy tomorrow and Wednesday. And David has already signed on, and Hugh has too. But you know, life goes on. I understand guys having to come and go. And Andrew, you know, he got tied up working his insurance situation, and I don't know whether he's in charge of the phone banks or what. But and I applaud Roger for at least taking a bit of a hiatus so that he can get some things done that he's been neglecting. So
Absolutely.
So with that, everybody in the chat, thank you so much for coming in. Tonight, Monday night, isn't Val on at 7, I believe?
I'm not sure for tonight because I know she's doing.
Oh, she was on last night. No, she's not on tonight. So
she's doing the build tomorrow or Thursday, isn't she?
Yep. Tuesday is build. She's still working on her Franken drone, I think.
Still going live for the build, huh?
Yeah.
Yep. She has been. So everybody, thanks for coming in. Thanks for watching. And join us again. We're going to be covering the home spot here for Roger, Canadian Drone Hub, 3 days a week until further notice, Monday, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays. So take care, everybody, and hope everybody has a great day. If you can, get out and fly.
Yeah. Take care, folks. Goodbye.
And we'll look forward to a report soon from John Coopy on his vertical takeoff.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And maybe I'll show you guys what's going on with the new Tango 2 next time. Because
there you go.
You can see the cover's been removed. So I've already had some problems with it.
Okay. Sounds great. Bye for now, everybody.
Take care, guys.